So I think I think I have okay. I think I have my tier list. Oh, Crypto keeps leaving. Crypto, are you trying to leave?
No, I
Oh,
kept this
oh,
butt pushing the button. So go ahead.
okay. So I think I've decided how I feel about all the characters as of season 9 of King of the Hill. Okay. I
Mhm.
want to go through all the main ones, and if I miss one, just let me know. Okay.
Gotcha.
Hank Hank Hill, goated character. Love him. Great character.
Yep.
Love him. Okay.
Mhm.
Peggy, she fun. She could easily be annoying, but she's a fun character. I vibe with her.
Uh,
Um, young Bobby, I actually really like this kid. He's something else. I like.
really?
Because I think I don't know about the other seasons. I think my thing about Bobby is he's so disarmingly pure. Like, like he's so it's too disarming. I remember the episode. There was an episode where his father was talking about like going to clown school, and you think the way Bobby would take it when he gets there, because the whole plot twist is like,
Yeah,
oh, the teacher's like a very terrible guy, but he's like very
yeah.
serious, and it's very boring. And then Bobby's gonna be like, I gotta get out of this, but no, Bobby's like, no, he said I'm terrible at making jokes. I want to learn. How can I be funny? And I was like, Bobby. I was like, oh, or the track episode. I was like, oh, Bobby. Or he was like, where he finds out that he's the stick and that he's only
Yeah.
there to make everyone else feel better. And he was like, but I like that. I want to do that. I want to motivate people. I'm like, Bobby.
Oh, yeah. Peggy was trying to relate that to Hank. Like, hey, does this remind you of when you got your track shirt? Oh, yeah, but the only difference is I got it through hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. And, while Bobby, yeah, he was just sleeping around track, literally.
Yeah. I think so. I think I generally like Bobby. Dale, somehow, some way, he has not pissed me off too much this season.
Oh,
He's
wow.
he's gotten close. He's gotten close, but he's had enough moments to balance me out.
Yep.
Bill, every episode that focuses on him, just let him go. Just let him go. I will say what fixed Dale for me, what Dale's saving grace, was the episode where he couldn't make fun of Bill because it was where Bill had to do the choir.
The men's choir club.
Yeah. And Dale, when he finally got to do it, he was so passionate.
Man.
Like,
Yeah, you gotta feel sorry for like Bill at the end of that, because remember, he took all his leave days from the army. He literally has no vacation days, no sick days, no any days off of work for the rest of his life. Audience,
it's
like,
the rest of his
God
life,
dang.
but the rest, I thought the rest of his life, that's kind of crazy. I thought it was
Or
like
for the rest of his career as a military barber,
oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Let's see. Boomhauer, 10 out of 10. Classic Boomhauer. You know what? He doesn't do much, but he contributes the way I need him to. I appreciate it.
yeah.
Joseph, not a fan. I'm not a fan of Joseph.
Wait, before or after puberty hit?
I'm assuming season 9 is after because he has the mustache.
Yeah, that's after he got hit with puberty, Like,
Yeah, he's very hyper for no reason, and I don't really.
he's the friend of yours that got hit with puberty weird, It just came all of a sudden. Like Bobby knew him like, at the same height as he was one summer. Then when he went off to camp and came back, he's now all of a sudden the size of an adult.
Yeah.
Mustache, pimples, cracked voice. Like, God dang, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Redcorn. I don't love him, but I like him.
Sorry,
I
guys.
like him. Oh, you're fine. I was like, I thought you like died or something. I was like, what's going on?
No,
But
I lost connection on my phone while trying to do the socials.
oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna have to post it later.
But I don't like him. I don't love him, but I like him. I think he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, I just like the fact that he sees himself as the victim of his life. But dude, what are you doing to Dale and his wife? Come on. Like,
Well, he hasn't done anything to Dale and his wife this season. Oh, speaking of which, his Dale's wife, I think she's fun. I think she's a fun character.
When she's not banging another man.
Yes, which didn't happen this season. So There you go.
Mhm.
So I do think I walked away from this season liking the main cast. I'm on season 10 now.
Mhm.
I think there's a mess up in the order, unless I just misunderstood the episode. Peggy, the news episode where Peggy has to do the wife call, where she has to say all the tricks of the trade of being like a housewife, basically.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that episode is, you remember what I'm talking about? You know the one I'm talking about, right? Where she accidentally uses mustard. She accidentally makes mustard gas.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She was trying to work for the newsletter, right? And were trying to rely on her to give like cleaning tips at the newspaper.
Yeah, but my problem with this episode is not the episode itself. I think it's a fine episode. I think it's fun. I think it really shows why I like Peggy. But I think my problem with it is that I'm pretty sure in season 9 she was already working at a newspaper.
Okay, yeah, then there was a mix-up somewhere then.
And she talks to Irv for the first time in that episode, but she's already talked to Irv before. So I think it was like a production order thing.
Yeah, oversight. So funny enough, I did some calculations, right? Like, all the newspapers that the guys recycle at the end of that episode, Jake.
$18. That's what they said, $18.
$18 each. So you had like 6 people who were doing that. So what
they get $3 each. They were very excited.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I liked all that. I liked Peggy. Peggy had some good episodes. I like her relationship with Bobby too. Like Bobby and Luann. And Luann, I like her relationship with them. Because like again, it's just so innocent. And I think what I like about the Hills is that it's a traditional family setting. Like you have the housewife, you have the man who goes to work, and you got the kids. But it shows it in the most idealistic way. Like nowadays we hear that, and I'm not really more of a traditional man myself. I'm more like, listen, if we can both work, let's go work. But when I watch this show, I'm like, but I get it. Like I watch the show, I'm like, I get how that could be a fulfilling life too. And so I like oh, go ahead.
Hank loves the life that he has, man. He has his dream job. He found his perfect match in Peggy. I know she has her flaws, Hank, audience, but still, you can't deny that those two were literally made for each other.
Yeah, it's like, and it's crazy. Like Peggy is clearly flawed, but Hank never gets mad at her. At least in this season 4. Like he might get annoyed with some of the stuff she does, but it's clear like it doesn't bother him. Like he loves her, and there's no problem with her at all. There's no resentment, like ironically, like the other families around them have for each other. But I like the relationship. I even like his relationship with Bobby because it's really nuanced. Like Hank's relationship with Bobby is like a father-son relationship. Like usually, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it yet. Hank loves his son and looks out for his son, and he's like more like no, Bobby, you gotta be like a sports guy type. Well, it's more like
There's literally an episode where Hank is trying to teach Bobby how to not fight like a girl. No, I mean literally, it's like.
Have you met a girl who before?
Well, no, wait.
Some of these motherfuckers, they fight like hell.
No, wait. Bobby accidentally took lessons at a women's self-defense course at the YMCA.
So why is he playing cool shit? Why is he
like and the one
good learning
and the one and the one thing they taught him is in the sight of danger, say that's my purse, I don't know you, and then kick the person in the groin.
Very popular clip.
Yeah, kick the person in the groin.
I mean, advice.
It is. Listen,
at the time. Yeah, Jake.
You hit a man in the groin, he'll go down. I promise you that.
But like at the time, like there was an unspoken rule, like, hey, don't hit below the belt. That was like a consensus with all guys at the time,
Yeah, and but if you're in a position where you have to defend yourself, I mean, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I see, but I see why. No, which you're 100% right. I see why Hank sees that because Hank is like a traditional, like, listen, like there was a way I was taught, and that's the way I'm gonna try to teach you.
You
I do
never
like,
hit below the belt line, Bobby. So.
I do like Hank though, because as much as he would like Bobby to be a certain way, he doesn't push it on Bobby. You know what I mean? Like if it comes, like if Bobby comes to him for advice, Hank's gonna give him the most traditional, like conservative, old school advice. But if Bobby doesn't take it, as long as he's not hurting himself, Hank doesn't really bother him about it. Like he's just like, do what you want. And I think that makes the relationship really like healthy and like refreshing to see. And yes, Bobby does get on Hank's nerves sometimes, but he clearly loves that boy, and I think that's
yeah. Even though sometimes Bobby could kind of push things a little bit. Like
no, he definitely
there was an episode where Bobby was taking home ec class, right? And Hank, he wouldn't be happy about that. Like literally, one of Bobby's assignments was to wash the stain out of a cheerleader uniform. And then when Hank opens the door to tell Bobby to come for dinner for some Frito pie, he sees Bobby with a cheerleading outfit and says, "There better be a naked cheerleader under that bed." Oh god. Oh man.
But yeah, it's a W show. I understand why it took me so long to actually appreciate it, but I love the vibe of the show. I see why you love it so much. It's a really good one. So.
Gotcha. To this day, I still watch it, even when I'm doing something. Right, I put it on demand. Man, it's just that much of a great show. And god dang it, when the second I get a chance to get that Alamo beer audience, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, because the show is so popular that they decide to actually produce the Alamo beer can from King of the Hill. But as far as I'm aware, it's only being sold in Texas. I'm like, god dang it!
Well, you gotta stay on brand.
Yep. That's true. We'll talk more about King of the Hill at a separate date. But we got a show tonight, audience, and damn, we got a lot of comics to talk about. So I think we should just get started. No, bro. All right, so welcome to Comic Fanatic Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. Yeah, pass. That's my intro.
Oh, that's bullshit. You know.
My name is Jake Towno, man. I'm here to tell you, man. I'm here for the podcast, man. I'm on podcast, man.
Damn.
Okay.
Oh, Austin's dead right now. He'll be back later. But I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronounced they, he, and Quentin Quire is the biggest industry plant of Marvel.
And we will kill him. We will expose him.
Please, I don't like him.
He's the worst.
And together, we form the Phanatics -1, and we're here to talk to you about the news and reviews of the week, except for our Tuesday nights, where we talk about the comic reviews. And so, we got a couple of cool reviews for you right here. We have the Silverhawks returning. We got the new Captain America coming at you. We have One World Under Doom, where Doom makes a point that's just objectively correct. But too bad.
You will never side with Reed Richards, Jake. Just say it.
I would have been a Doom supporter if the twist of the book hadn't happened. All right.
Oh my god.
I was like, dude, listen, I can follow you only so far. I can see.
I'm sorry. Between the two, who has a title of the smartest man on the earth, Jake?
Smartest man who doesn't do jack shit with it. Yeah, you right. You right. And that's why I was cheering for Doom in that debate. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we know what picket sign Jake will have in his front lawn, audience. Let that settle in. All right.
It's a one world under Doom sign. I'm a one world under Doomer.
Okay. Yeah. We know what. Okay. So green hat you're going to be wearing. All right.
But yeah, we also have Avengers Academy as one of our usuals returns. Bionicle's coming back. We actually, you know what, guys? I got some news for you.
What?
We finished the book today. Okay, we're done. We finished.
Really?
Yeah, we finished the book. I just powered through it. I powered through it. Okay. So you'll see the exciting conclusion of Bionicle Island of Doom. My vampire system continues. I'm not finishing that anytime. That's 2,000 chapters. Okay. That's
what chapter are you on?
Say it again.
What chapter are you on?
407, I think.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. I'm not even in the thousands yet.
Fuck! Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, because I thought my connection was lost, and for some reason I'm stuck on this thing. Hold on, just give me a second, please.
It's funny because on our thumbnail we have a picture that says low connection quality.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
You know, I'll just leave it and we'll see if it still works.
But hey, listen, we're a-okay over here with our topics, and we also have socials. And which are you good to say them? Because I have the list right here. If you can't,
yeah, as long as you guys can hear me.
I can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, subscribe to us because I said so. You can also follow us on our Twitter at Comic Phanatics 69. That's where you get all the bougie updates, bestie. So that's cool. You can also find me on my Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. I'm taking a little bit of Twitter, a little bit of a break from Twitter because it's a hellscape, but it's fine. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. I do try to post on there. Wink wonk. You can also find me on Tumblr, Blue Sky at North Star Aria. You can also find me on Rednote/Xiaohongshu at Witch of Jotun. And then if you want to support me on my Ko-Fi, that is going to be Witch of Jotunheim, obviously. And if you're going to Tucson Comic Con, go to my panel. I'll be posting some stuff about that later. And anyways, Crypt is in the same spot. And Jake, what you doing?
Right now, I don't want to go underwater, so I decided to keep myself in the vampire universe right now, my vampire system universe. Okay. We are stuck on the vampire world live right now. We'll see if I survive the week.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to get this screen off.
Gotcha. Well, all right then. Guys, just want to get started in that case?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Well, anyway, audience, let's start with the first book of the night, audience. And we're going to be talking about Captain America issue number 2, aka issue number 773. I feel like we got to start doing the legacy numberings, come on, like.
That's too many issues, dog.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like it feels like you're part of something bigger than yourself, Jake. So, as Nick Fury once said back when he was a badass. Until yeah. But anyway, so yeah, audience, we're talking about Captain America number 2, and right off the bat, I gotta say this about David Colton. I feel like we should have gotten a mini series of him alone, because there is a lot to go over with him and his experience during the War on Terror and that stuff. Here, we open up, we see a flashback to him and the military having liberated one of the towns over here. He's bright-eyed, this is what he signed up for, to stop the bad guys, to liberate the people and this stuff. But one of the interpreters there, I think his name's Kasim, right? He you could tell he's an old battle horse, he's done this angle before. He knows that once the US military is out of here, it's gonna be a power vacuum basically. At this point David's a little bit too bright-eyed to realize what he means by that, but we'll get more into that later, right? Back in the present though, we see, David, with Steve and the 2 other Shield agents. At this point, I can't even bother remember their names, man, because David, he's the one who has the MVP spot, amongst these new characters. So they're going over the mission objective. They're going to go to Latveria. I gotta say, David Colton at this point, he is a completed character, right? He's been through war. He's like a broken spirit, he just feels like he's exhausted from these conflicts after conflicts, and he's
so
still trying to do the right thing. Yep, he's still trying to do the right thing, this and that. They get their objective. Their mission is to go to Latveria, right? This is in the midst of the civil war that's going on that, will result in Doom taking control of Latveria. but during this conflict, there are American civilians that are caught in this crossfire, right? So it's up to the two Caps to go in and rescue them. Let me bring up the picture of these two. I kind of like this little shot right here. As far as David Colton's design goes, yeah, I really dig it. I mean, it feels more military-esque and that stuff.
It's much more bulky.
Yeah, which is what you would want. Like you want more protection on you when you're out in the midst of combat.
I mean, I think if you had a vibranium suit, I think that also would help you with protection. But yeah, I guess we can't do that. So.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's only so much. There's only so much of a budget the resource has in the military.
It's true. At least Sam Wilson has it. God bless him.
yeah, because he has the privilege of being in the Wakandan barbecue.
Jake, are you a part of the Wakandan barbecue? No,
bro. I wish, bro. I wish I could be there.
Gotcha. But anyway, so they go to their assigned destination in Latveria, and they immediately encounter a Doombot, right? And it turns out this Doombot was captured by the rebel forces going up against Dr. Doom. And this Doombot is actually under their control. So this is them encountering the rebel forces because they had previously agreed, yeah, the rebels are going to help Captain America go and save those American citizens, right? Of course, we do get a flashback again to David Colton's tour of duty. I like his combat style. He kind of like fights in the way I would imagine a modern day military man would fight. If he was Captain America. With the shield, with the gun, his combat style and that stuff. Yeah, he tries following Kasim because he feels like something's wrong. Something might be in danger with Kasim, and he finds him, in the midst of like some terrorists. Unfortunately, he gets gunned down, and David tries helping him. Like, yeah, he beats all the people that were at that place too. And it turns out Kasim is just like, hey, yeah, before the Taliban, there were warlords, and again, once the troops leave this destination, this spot, it's going to be an upper grab sort of power. So and not only will Kasim and his people be free, but the warlords of before the Taliban will come back too. And that specific warlord had already killed Kasim's sister. So yeah, he just wanted one last standoff between him and that guy. So yeah. So we cut back to the present, right? We see Cap's forces talk things over with the rebel forces, and this is the point where David gets really flips a switch at the rebel leader, right? Because originally the plan was that the rebels will help the U.S. Army retrieve those captured American citizens in exchange for a cargo shipment of weapons, right? But now the rebel leaders is wanting to change the terms of their agreement, saying, what would be easier if we actually had two super soldiers aiding us in this fight against Doctor Doom, and then that'll make things much more easier for you to escort your American citizens. David, he's not having this. Like, his mindset is really on the mission in order to save those people, and he makes it absolutely clear he does not want the U.S. to be part of this war going on. So of course he's pissed off about that. Steve steps outside to have a talk with David, and yeah, the discussion between the two kind of boils down to like David telling Steve, yeah, it must be nice to believe you can make a difference. Like, damn, it's not that simple as like Steve's time where you have a dictator figure like Hitler, that you could go and beat, and there, the war's over, right? So dang. So we do get a flashback to David's time in the past. After they did what they could in Afghanistan, they get orders to go to Iraq because of words they got for that there are weapons of mass destruction over there. David is like,
not even true.
David is like a little bit worn out about this, as like he just feels like we're going after one war after another. And as they're driving by, he sees the remains of a Soviet tank that's on the ground. As he's like, oh my God, this isn't. We're just going one war after another. So cutting back to the present, we see, David and Steve, they both decide to kind of like split things up. David will go on to rescue those citizens, while Steve takes it upon himself to join the rebel leader to go take out Doctor Doom, because Steve kind of sees he has a little bit of a stake in this, right? Uh, as far as his war went, World War II, yeah, they won, but they were never able to bring the dictator Adolf Hitler to justice.
Yeah,
So
because he was a pussy and killed himself.
exactly. And as far as Steve is aware, as far as Steve is aware in this situation, he feels like he needs to make up for that by being involved in the taking down of Doctor Doom here.
Oh, do you want to hear a fun World War II fact real quick?
Okay, what is it?
The Soviets have bits and pieces of Hitler's skull.
Yeah, I can imagine
the Soviets
that.
have some of it.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, they found it in mines.
So,
all right, let's go on.
So, I like this little monologue from David as they're separating. He's like telling his other comrades that Steve, that guy's a hero, no doubt about that. God knows I looked up to him, but he's lost, a man out of time. We can't let him drag us down while he figures the world out. I see David as somebody who has experienced battleships and hardships throughout his life, so he's just really concerned about the safety of his platoon at this point. So as I said in the first issue, audience, when it came to these two, I don't mind there being disagreements between David and Steve, because that's something has happened between the Captain Americas of the past. Steve has had conflicts with both Bucky and Sam too. Definitely with John Walker. So.
Yeah, because John Walker's the worst.
And not if you read his era as Captain America. So, yeah, damn, what was I about to say? So, yeah, I would be okay with disagreements, but I will not be okay if there's a full-on vilification of David in this. So we cut back to Steve. They break into Doom's castle. They found the proper time that Doom will be the most vulnerable, and the rebel leader is about to assassinate Doom by sniping him while he's at his dinner table, only for Steve to kind of have cold feet and saying this isn't justice. So he stops the rebel leader. Unfortunately, this is where it turns out the Doom bot, was really just playing a Trojan horse in all this, and immediately starts attacking Steve and the rebel leader. And we end the comic with Doom, with the actual Doctor Doom popping up in front of Captain America, saying, well, I mean, the rumors I've heard were actually true. Oh my God, Stephen Rogers, the original Captain America, scourge of Adolf Hitler, Victor Von Doom, and the nation of Latveria welcome you as a hero, as the issue ends. Wow, a lot to unpack there. Yeah, when I saw that ending, all I kept thinking about was, are they going to make that whole graphic novel Captain America Ghost Army canon? Because, this is something I talked about in a previous review night, audience. There was a graphic novel talking about Steve's time in World War II, where he did go to Latveria and kind of take down the Nazis that were occupying themselves over there, So I thought that would be pretty good if Chip were to dig up that well, So yeah, I'm more interested in the following issue, and going back to David Colton, right? This is something I've been I am trying to see what other people's feelings are of David Colton, specifically those who have a military background, Surprisingly, a lot of former vets actually have a lot of YouTube channels covering comics alone. I'm like, damn, that's a fun little tidbit of fact.
Well, wasn't Benny from Comistorian when he was around? He was a military vet.
Yes, yep, he was. So was Jawin, Comics Breakdown, thinking Girl, Richard Myers. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm forgetting someone, but yeah, those are just a
And
handful that come up,
I don't know if
that
it's
pop
the
in my head.
case. I don't know if it's the case today, but I know comics have always had like a long history with the U.S. military because that used to be what they used to read.
Oh yeah,
That's how you got
I
Captain
mean,
America to begin with.
have you seen Cap's first appearance?
yep.
Like
Yeah,
Pepperoni
That,
Tony's
that was
punching him.
that, that
that was
was
his first
literally
appearance. I thought it came later.
that was his first comic.
Oh, first
Yeah,
appearance. I thought that
Oh,
yeah.
was common
They
knowledge.
yeah they after they went as far as even make that like a standard issue comic that they would give the soldiers at the time. You know.
I know. He hit him twice because people got mad the first time. So it's like, no, I
Yeah,
don't remember. That's pretty good.
Honestly,
I know.
valid. I would
Like I
love to
said,
punch
that's
Hitler
not.
twice.
Yeah, I still remember like when John Wayne was opening his drive for comics for our troops, right? Man, I gave like dude boxes and boxes of comics to them just to give over to our troops. I think I
I'm
did
just
at
saying,
least
Jake, you know
3.
how many characters were birthed out of the Vietnam War? So many
Mm-hmm.
characters were birthed
Yeah,
out of the Vietnam War.
yeah. World War II and the Vietnam War really was a good gateway for a lot of new characters.
A lot of these
Gotcha.
characters. If there
But
was a somewhat historical event that might have some relevance to the character, they might be associated with it, even if nowadays they're not associated with it. North Star.
oh, Comic Book University. That's the other guy I was also thinking about too. So check up their channels if you ever get a chance, audience. But anyway, so yeah, I'm really trying to get everybody's perspective on this. One thing I could see that's unanimous is Chip Zdarsky has never been in the military. Just want to bring that up. A lot of people had like little attention and detail moments as far as David's depiction of the military at the time that they didn't like. I mean, I remember me and Kara, we really hated that moment in the first issue where that drill sergeant was beating David Colton up. I'm like, what the heck? Like, no, 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 that's something that would never fly by in the military, dude. Like,
And yet it
we all
happened.
know we all know George S. Patton, one of the greatest military minds the U.S. has had. Like he got punished for just slapping a soldier, but in like the last issue, this drill sergeant literally beats David up and puts him in the hospital. Like, God damn it, dude. Yeah, that was not a
Yeah,
moment
correct me
that
if I'm
most
wrong. I
people
think that
like.
guy would get fired.
Yes, exactly. Which so yeah, that was not a good depiction here. I know some people had like issues with like the first 3 pages of of this comic. I won't get too much into detail on this, but yeah, overall, I see the reaction to David Colton. It seems to be a little bit everywhere. Some people like him, some people hate him. But one thing that kind of really upsets me a little bit is like a lot of people are so in tune to saying that David should be the villain by the end of this. I'm like, but I'm reading this comic and I'm like, nothing so far has ever indicated to me that he has any malice, ill intent, or anything that says I'm looking to be the villain, right? Like Cap's time in here is like about like he feels like he needs to go and stop Doctor Doom, and that'll bring order to this, to this civil war, this and that, right? Kind of like what they figured would happen, like in the end of World War II. Hey, just kill Hitler, and the war will be over. But again, David Colton, he's a war horse by this point. He's been through rough ends. He's probably seen everything there is to the war on terror and this and that.
But so
He
unnecessary, but
he,
whatever.
he again does not want to go to war. Like
I
I'm
mean,
assuming
have
at
to think
this
about it.
point.
Does anyone really want to go to war besides a very small group of people?
Yeah, but like in David's situation, I think like what he like the only reason he's still doing what he's doing right now is to just ensure the safety of the troops that are around him, at least. Like, I know Steve wanted to be directly involved in this war in Latveria, but David is the one who's trying to slap some realism to Steve in this point. Which was kind of sad, like when I saw like some reviewers trying to paint it as if like oh, David's side, they were the ones who just want a regime change, while Steve is the one who's caring about the Americans captured in Liberia. I'm like, did we read the same book? No, multiple times. Like it's stated David is the only one who has his mind set on saving people. You know, like So yeah, that really bothered me. I as
Wait,
far as
who's
I'm
writing this book?
Chip Zdarsky.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, audience. If this was what's his name, Dennis Camp writing this, oh, full on. I wouldn't even write this book. Like because I'm pretty sure he would full out make David Colton a villain at this in this.
I
But as
don't
far
think
as
so, but who
no,
knows?
I've seen dude, everybody knows my feelings on how he's been depicting Captain America and what he stands for all throughout. So there's nothing flattering coming from that man at all. So
No, there's actually a lot of
this is
flattering things coming out of that man for me personally, but whatever.
not for Captain America, which so
I will
I think
yeah.
say,
why I stopped reading Ultimates was because I was bored, and also
Mhm.
the fact that I need to save money. Comics are
Mhm.
expensive, guys.
Yep.
I'll say that I think this new Captain America, my only issue with him is that he is another Captain America. I think because
Mhm.
I think he would do well. Like he's one of those characters where like, oh, if we were doing another Captain America trilogy, well, I guess that would be Bucky again, huh? But
Yeah.
I would like to see a version of him in there. But I don't know if
Mhm.
I want to call him Captain America. Not because I don't think he can be it. I get the parallels and I
Yeah.
understand that. I'm saying
I
that
mean,
there's just already so many. Well, not
to be
terribly many, but there's already
well,
many. You know what I mean?
like
And
like
keep
to
in
be
mind, we
fair,
haven't even seen a lot of them from the United States of Captain America.
no,
We've only
no,
Yeah.
seen
no,
one
no.
of them.
We are not. No, I don't want to get in discussion about those characters. David Colton,
We will
I
be
will give.
later.
I, I will give nuance to David Colton because he was Captain America at a time when Steve was already frozen. So I mean, hey, when the character is no longer there to continue on the mantle of Cap, then I would say it's okay for somebody to step up, and take the mantle at that
Oh
point
yeah, no,
because
no.
it
But I'm
has
saying like
happened.
I'm not even arguing that. I'm not like I think I might be not articulating my point right. I don't have a problem
Mm-hmm.
with him or like him being Captain America in the comics. I think that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm saying like
yeah.
if we were to, I think it would be hard to adapt him
Mm-hmm.
into a movie as a Cap because
Oh, that,
the first things that people are going to see is Bucky, Sam,
mhm.
John, and then like
Yeah.
everybody else is just up for grabs.
Uh, yeah,
Um, yeah.
I don't think we're going to get this character in movies anytime soon because
Yeah.
the MCU is primarily focused on Sam Wilson, even though
And popular people.
everybody seems to be siding with John Walker nowadays. So,
No, I have not seen that at
yeah,
all.
yeah, he has a rise in fans, which John Walker. So, yeah,
The only type of like
so
good press that I've gotten from that man is ship art.
yeah, I don't really pay attention to those. But yeah, as far as David Colton goes, like again, I don't see him popping up in the MCU anytime soon. So yeah, I'm kind of like invested in his character so far. I mean, I like the design, I like the background of him because again, like audience for those who watched my review on the first Captain America issue of this series, like I had a really emotional talk discussion with an old lady concerning her son who that to me that was like a real life Captain America right there. So yeah, I do have investment within David Colton's journey going forward. But at some point, Chip Zdarsky is going to have to write this in a way where David Colton is going to go off the grid because this is a story set in the past. So you kind of have to justify, wait, how come David has never popped up in between, like the point Steve just came out of the ice to now. My theory is like, I know everybody's assuming like David Colton's going to have to die in this, but I think maybe David Colton's going to probably want to go off the grid. Like again, he's just tired of going from war after war after war. Um, there was like a nice attention to detail I gotta say about his shield that would exemplify his character, right? With his shield, like you notice that the star is like a little bit bigger, emphasized, where it's actually the passing over the first layer of rings. Yeah, I can imagine that's a little bit of symbolism of him as Captain America wanting to be more of an international sort of hero, being more involved in more international conflicts. But at the same time, you also notice that the colors on his shield are starting to fade. I just think that's a symbolism of, like, his spirit just fading, as conflicts go on and on and on. So yeah. I just don't want to see another villainized Cap, or, like, David. He needs his own happy ending. I just
He needs a
wish
nap.
these
That's what
guys.
he wants. I think he just wants a nap and a spa day, and not have to worry about that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Bro,
He
I'll
just
take you
wants
on a spa day, man.
he
It'll
just
be great.
he just wants to find peace at the end of the day, man. Well, not find peace, but, like, he's trying to do good. So far he hasn't done anything to show that he's not fit to be Captain America. He feels like he's more than earned, like, the mantle of that at this point. I mean, they even state that he is a major. So in terms of the military ranking system, audience, he is actually higher up than Steve Rogers at this point. And I don't know how they didn't explicitly say how long he's been Captain America, but, like, you could make an argument that he's actually held the mantle of Cap longer than Steve has, in terms of years. Because, like, Steve, at most, Steve would be Captain America for 5 years, So have that for food for thought, audience, So yeah, just hoping for the best with David Colton. I already saw somebody actually make a custom action figure of this guy.
I mean, you gotta do it now.
Oh yeah. I will hope to add, like, audience. One of my bucket list items as a comic book, as a Captain America fan, is to have, like, custom figures of all the established Captain Americas in the past. At the moment they're now actually 10. Yeah, at the moment they're 10.
Even Aaron?
Which I'm not talking about this guy. All right, like, I'm talking about the established.
Audience.
I'm I'm only concerned with the established ones who were Captain America throughout history. I've said their names bunches of times. Like, me and Kari even did a full video on all of them and their eras.
That's discriminatory against Captain Americas.
The race of known as the Captain America race.
No, the legacy. I mean, it's like sort of like a president sort of thing. You have established numbers of presidents. So yeah. I hope that one day see Marvel do a Marvel Legends figure of David Colton. I mean, I will definitely be one of the first to buy that. And it also doesn't.
I would buy it.
Yeah, and it also doesn't hurt much. Like, when I see David Colton's design, he has, like, the sort of design that I will imagine Demolition Man having if he ever became Captain America. Maybe it's just the red hair and the beard. So yeah, crossing my fingers they do justice to David Colton, because I'm invested at the moment. So yeah, but yep, that's really all I have to say about this book. So, guys, we can move on.
Yes, please, because I'm ready to talk about Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Issue 18. Yeah, a good book. Yep. Woo! Anyways, we're going to start where we last left off, with the girlies hanging out in the Akihiro room, as what I'm calling it right now. The first panel, I didn't send in the picture of the first panel, but it is so funny. It's basically just Nico, Futaba, and Kanon and May looking back, right? Well, 3 of them are looking back. One of them's looking at Akihiro. And they're just like, huh? What the fuck? And so the master is holding Mori by her bunny-eared hat, right? Because if you guys remember, she's wearing a bunny hat. As you can see from the cover. Yeah. Can you see that on the cover? She's wearing
we can see it. What this cover reminds me of? Like, sometimes back in the day, like, Marvel Comics will have, like, the cover with, like, an icon in the top left-hand corner of all the faces of heroes. Yeah,
honestly, if Marvel decided to make this into a sticker pack, I would so buy it.
There we go,
It looks more like a sticker pack. But anyways, going back to it. So basically, the master is like, where is Kageyama? Where is Hisako? And, like, threatens Mori with, like, a little dagger thing. And the girl, Kanon's like, they're in there. And pointing to, like, the Akihiro tubes, which is what I'm calling them right now. And the master's low-key losing his shit. He's crashing out hard. And he's like, you expect me to believe that they're inside Akihiro? Like, don't mistake me for an idiot. And he gets laser blasted, right? In the arm. And drops Mori. And we see this person in a mask. Okay. You might be asking yourself, who's wearing this mask? Well, I'll tell you, Bessie, if you go to the next picture.
Okay.
It's Natsu. Natsu's back.
There you go.
And then basically, like I said, the master's crashing out. And he's like, apostate, betrayer, homo inferior. And Natsu takes off the mask. And Mori's like, Natsu, I found you. And are you ready for me to describe what happens next?
Go for it, Witch.
Okay, because it's going to get weird as shit. Anyways, so the master grabs Mori's arm, cuts off her arm, but she is able to escape, right? To Mori. And basically blasts the master, aka Sinister, with her laser beam, obviously. And so basically, like, Mori is like, oh, are you alright? Like, Natsu like, are you alright, Mori? Like, can you stand? And then the master's like, Natsu, you forget who took you in after you killed your own mother. If you guys remember from a few issues ago. But you're a monster. Yeah, I cared for you, protected you, and this is how you repaid me. And Natsu's like,
gave you life.
and then Natsu was like, hey, I was scared alone and I couldn't face what I'd done. And I wanted to trust you, but you only wanted my power. Yeah. And everything. And then we just see Mori's arm just like slowly growing back.
So basically, like the baby hand or like Deadpool situation, right? Like,
sure, if you want to say that, yeah. Totally. That was sarcasm, audience.
Okay.
Did you forget this is a horror comic?
Oh yeah, I could tell by the art.
Yeah.
If they ever,
like,
Go ahead.
So the master's like, worthless mutants like you, no one will care about you. You have nothing, no place to call home. And Natsu's like, I know you're right, but with them, I can at least believe that I can be more. And so, did I send this picture? I don't remember if can you go to the next picture real quick? I don't remember if I sent this.
Sure thing.
Yeah, that's the one. So the girlies run away. And the master's lying on the floor, as you can obviously see. And he's like, damn it, bless your blood. And then he's like this. To Mori's severed arm.
Jesus, man.
Severed arm.
Okay. Okay. Go. Just think, if there's ever going to be an edgy depiction of edgy comic of Addams Family, you should definitely get this creative team behind it.
So, AKA just Peach Momoko.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like she would definitely do well in terms of story, gory, and art style there, So.
We should just let this woman make more horror comics. Anyways, so drinking the blood, slurping the blood. Slurping. His wounds healed. Lovely, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we cut to the next page where the master gets up and then goes into the Akihiro room. And keep in mind, Akihiro just keeps wanting him. He wants to die. I mean, if I was in this situation, I would want to die too. Okay? I don't want to be basically crucified on an X thing with a bunch of tubes coming out of me with no skin, bitch, and being used for a cult. If I was in that situation, I would want to die too. Anyways, so the master's like, what's this, Akihiro? You're bleeding. And he's like, was it true what those brats said? Hisako and Kageyama are truly inside you? And he drinks the blood. Like a weirdo vampire.
Okay.
And he's like, this taste, can it finally be complete? My ex? And it's like, this freaking panel. I didn't send you guys this picture because it's fucking weird. And honestly, I'm surprised, Cryptid, you didn't choose that panel of Akihiro to put on the cover. I'm genuinely shocked that you know it.
A lot of pictures, man. I was thinking about putting that last picture. Yeah, I like that. We'll get to that picture when we get to it, audience. So
basically, he is tweaking out, because of course he would. And guess who's been filming this entire interaction?
Oh, jeez. There's filming going on?
Yukio's been filming the entire time live. She
Of course,
it.
Of course, somebody will want to be filming all these gory content, and I assume posting it on the internet, right? Which, like,
well, she definitely was posting it on the internet. I can tell you that.
Oh God. Okay.
So, 2 weeks later, everyone finds out. Well, everyone finds out right then and there, but this is 2 weeks later, and everyone knows already. Okay. So they're talking about the children of the atom and everything, how they're like a freak cult and everything. And then they're starting to be racist towards mutants because, of course, this is an X-Men book, whatever. And so basically some people are like finding out that they've been being used by the cult, which is like, I get it. Mm-hmm. It's a cult. But like, if you're in a cult, you don't realize that shit. But like, you'll find out eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we get some news anchors on it and everything like that. And so we learn what happened to Mori in this situation after they escape and they're hanging out at like by a river type thing for like a lantern festival type thing. Don't worry about it. It's not important to the situation. I'm just setting the scene. Anyways, so basically Mori explains that her arm may have fully grown back, but like it takes some time, and everything like that. And she didn't want to remember everything until she saw Akihiro, and then she remembered everything, which I get it, man. That man triggers her trauma. She was like cut up and experimented on for ages. And she lifts up her shirt and we see her stomach covered in scars and everything like that. Not pretty, but
got it.
But she does have a regeneration power. That's I'm assuming either her mutant ability or that's one of her abilities in general.
Yeah.
And yeah, she basically became a human guinea pig. Not fun, but hey, Nico and May comfort her and tell her it's all okay. It's all good. That's why you need good friends. Cause fuck the master. Fuck you, Sinister. Anyways, so May's like, "Do you think he's dead?" And he goes like, "No, I heard somewhere on the news he escaped." Talk about the master, by the way. And May's like, "That sucks. I heard his Atom henchmen are missing too." And Modi's like, "Did Natsu come and join the X-Men with you?" And guess who shows up? Natsu.
Who?
She's not wearing her tracksuit or her eye patch, which it looks great, by the way.
Right.
Anyways, so Nico's like, "Oh, we've missed you, Natsu. You've been through so much." And Natsu's like, "Oh, thanks, Nico. I'm doing way better now. May really helps me through it, But Mori wants to hang out with everyone again, but Hisaku's still missing. And they're wondering, like, where they could have gone to. And, like, they just entered Akihiro and disappeared. And, someone, I don't know who exactly, but they were like, "Actually, Nico, I heard on the news they took Akihiro into custody." And I had a lot of issues with this line. You couldn't have taken this man to the hospital first?
Wow.
Motherfucker, I posted enough pictures of this man to be like, bring him to a hospital first and then take him to the police station.
Yeah.
Priorities.
That sounds like the reasonable thing to do, But
he has no skin, Krypton. He has no skin. No skin.
Wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he has no skin, and he has a bunch of tubes in him.
Damn.
I don't know if he has the regenerative abilities just yet.
Yeah.
This man is very mysterious in this universe. I feel like I need to put this. Anyways, so May was like, "Oh, before she went, Hisako said that she was gonna meet up with Tsubasa. Does anyone know where Tsubasa died?" And Futaba, well, no, not Futaba, some hooded person was like, "I know." And they're all like, "Who the fuck are you?" And this person's like, "The real question is, do any of you guys know what's really going on?" Okay? Because, like, the master of the Children of the Atom is still alive, planning something really big. Project My X isn't over. It could have just been called Project X, but he wanted to be a fucking asshole about it, and he was like, "My ex, not everyone ex, my ex," and it's like, you're weird. Anyways, and so this person's like, "You don't have to trust me, but don't believe what the mainstream media tells you. Like, not that I have to tell you guys that." You know it better than anyone. Only trust what you see for yourself. And we're seeing a bird mutant looking motherfucker going after some people and everything like that. And we see like the news talking about mutants again and everything like that. Keep in mind, the master is true. And the master is still alive. He's watching some TVs. He looks like he would be on something. He looks like he's on something, which is probably true. Oh yeah, by the way, this person is Yukio, by the way, if you were curious. If you were curious, this is Yukio. Anyways, so basically she takes them to the place where Tsubasa died, kind of. It was at a temple, by the way. Okay. So basically Nico uses her powers and they think that a spirit is pulling up. And guess what? It wasn't a spirit. It was Kanon. Yay!
Oh, wow. Picture, please? Sure thing.
Yeah. It was Kanon. You can't really see it here, but she pulls up. And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And she's like, "Same as you, right? Came where Tsubasa offed himself to see if we could find Hisako." And so, they're just like looking around and everything. And then they see a spirit. Well, Nico sees a spirit behind Kanon pointing to a tree with a weird hole in it.
Yeah.
And everything like that. And so Kanon wants to rip the tree apart. But May, with slight help from Kanon, opened the tree. And guess who spills out of it? You can go to the last picture. Hisako!
Dude, like
orange and pink now.
Audience, if you look at the context of how she's falling off that tree, if you knew nothing of what's going on, what do you think that looks like? Like, I'm just saying, like, the last issue, it kind of looked like somebody was, like, getting unbirthed based on the art. Now here you have, like...
I guess you could say she was getting reborn.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah.
Hey, but they're having to be their friend again, though.
Yeah. Marika Tamaki, yeah, she's really running wild in the art department in this audience. So, yeah.
So, we cut back to wherever the fuck the master is. And he's like, "I am honored by my children's faith in me, blah, 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 blah." And we see Noriko, a.k.a. Surge. She's all covered in, like, a blue flame-looking thing. I don't know. And he's like, "While your brethren may have been out in the world, proving their worth and everything, you have suffered defeat at the hands of these X-Men time and time again. No longer. Let them know who is superior." And he like injects himself with the My X thing. And he's like, "My X, all this power is mine alone. No one will take it from me." And he looks like he's cracked out hard. And you might be wondering, how do you know what someone cracked out looks like? Bitch, I live in the city. I think I would know what someone who looks cracked out looks like.
Yeah.
It's bad. Anyways, to be continued. We do get a little bit of a lexicon, which is great as always, and that's where the issue ends.
Yeah, I really wanted to put this image up as part of the thumbnail. I'll admit that. But,
I think it would have been funnier if you would have put the sinister panel.
Yeah. But I mean, just to have people try thinking like, what the heck is the context of this panel going on here?
There's so much happening in this comic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely an interesting take on an X-Men book, audience. So yeah. But alright then. I think for the sake of time, we probably should move on to the next book. Any final thoughts, Butch?
Go read Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah. All right. With that, let's move on to the next book.
Silverhawks.
Tally ho!
Actually, he shows up this issue. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, so you didn't read it?
I have
Oh,
the
you.
issue in front of me. Yeah, I have the issue in front of me, but I only had time to skim through it. So
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty simple issue. We get the backstory of Orm,
Mhm.
one of the Silverhawks that will be showing up later in the issue, and how like he was born, he was raised a millennia ago during the first
Mhm.
Monstar invasion, and his people were tortured and killed. His father got killed on the throne by Monstar. Okay,
Yeah, wow.
so he's not really a fan of the guy. He's like, fuck this guy. Cuts to the present day. There's kind of just like a let's just chill issue. This kind of like a, you know what? We went through some shit. We all became a team. We went on our first mission. Let's just chill out.
Some people still have shiners from the
Yeah.
last mission. So,
Yeah. Some people are like, yeah, and then I like how like some of them are, isn't this Silverhawk shit weird? Now like I'm a cyborg forever. That's crazy. So
I assume it was all in the big agreement that you had to sign.
well, I mean,
I'm sure they read that whole agreement, Jake.
Yeah, well, still won't even get to read the user terms of agreement because he was dying, and so his sister just said, "Well, I guess I'll be a Silverhawk to save his life," and so they're both Silverhawks now. I guess she got to be a Silverhawk too, so I guess I can't be mad as the brother. I guess we both went through it, but
wow, Jake, a sibling wanting to get something simply because their other sibling has it. I've never heard of that story ever before in my life.
Well, okay, so I think I don't understand. I don't understand why this sounds stupid, but I think genetically speaking, they're linked, so that if one has to have it, like what if one has it, the other has to have it, or they like both die.
Gotcha.
I think.
I think they're kind of stated as fraternal twins. So
yeah, I don't know why that means they have to. Sure, but yeah, but this is basically just like the recuperation issue. We went through some shit. Let's take a break, which is more than I can say Transformers has done in the year or two since it's been out. The new Transformers book. So that's
right.
I will say I like how there is a conversation about Copper Kid being on the team, and so Quicksilver goes to his boss. He's like, "Hey, I don't know about this Copper Kid being he's a child." And I was like, "Well, listen, just to remind you, he first off he forced himself into being a Silverhawk. Secondly, he's the most advanced scientist on the ship. Thirdly, he made Tallyhawk, so he's on the team. He's here to stay." And Quicksilver's like,
he cut his most important organs for the sake of the team.
It's true. As a child, and so Quicksilver's like, you know what, dude, that's okay, fine, whatever. You make a case, but he's not going in the field though. And then like, I like his boss is like, listen, I'm gonna do whatever I can to beat Monstar and take down his forces and all that, but I'm not a fucking monster. Okay, obviously he's not going in the fucking field. Don't ever say I'm gonna do some shit like that. So as long as the boss is in charge, Copper Kid will have to sneak his way out the ship before he can. He's not leaving Hawk Haven. That was the rule. Okay.
Gotcha.
So
you'll have to attend daily class sessions with Bluegrass as he asks him astronomical questions of science.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's what happened in the original show, audience. The last 2 minutes were always dedicated to learning scientific facts from Copper Kid.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But yeah, so they have to go on a mission because Tallyhawk, he's gone in his little. I love how they introduced Tallyhawk just like the show, where like he gets introduced and they're like, "It's just a fucking hawk, man. Like, let's just doing this one." So they're like, "No, but you understand, it's a scout." And I do like Copper Kid's like, and listen, this is made by Copper Kid, and he's gonna make 100 more of these, and we're gonna send this into space, and we're gonna hunt down like Brimstar, which is the planet that Monstar comes from. I'm like, this is fucking stupid, but whatever. The planet of Brimstar, and so that's the mission of Tallyhawk. So Tallyhawk will be investigating, but also his main mission is to find Brimstar. So there you go. And so they do find something of interest, and they go over there to go investigate, and they get attacked by these robots, and they're not sure if there's any civilians there, So the mission is to fight the robots without shooting at them because they don't want to actually like kill anybody. And then Orm shows up and he's like, "Listen, I'm also Silverhawk now." And I was like, "Oh, okay," because in the flashback he wasn't a Silverhawk, so I guess he's just Silverhawk now. Sure. I guess he didn't want to join the fight immediately. It was a millennia ago. So he shows up and he's like, "Hey, so Limbo, the first time we got Monstar, he was in jail. I didn't really like that decision. I thought we should have executed him. But
Due process, Jake. Due process. Come on, right?
Well, he said, listen, that was Limbo's decision, and I'm okay with that. So I was okay with that. But now he broke out, and he's even worse. So listen, I'm just saying, you, me, we team up, ride or die. Let's kill this bitch. And Quicksilver's like, no. So, listen, Silverhawks don't kill. I'm like, okay, listen. If you want to be like, we're just cops, we can't just kill indiscriminately, I'm all on board for that. That's what I like in superheroes. Like, I don't want superheroes to ever tell me I physically can't kill no matter how bad this person is. That's stupid. But if you tell me, well, I want to be a cop, so I don't want to actually kill like indiscriminately. I want to actually have some like rules on myself. Okay, fine, whatever. Quicksilver says Silverhawks don't kill. I'm like, ever? Like, aren't y'all like super soldiers? But anyway, and I do like, I actually cryptid. I would go to like the last page or like the last 2 pages of the book when Quicksilver says this. Orm just makes this face that made me laugh. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But Quicksilver says like, Orm's like, "You don't understand. He killed my family." And Quicksilver's like, "Well, he killed my entire squad. They were like my family. So don't trauma dump me, boy." No, that's what they put.
The guy's probably like looking at Quicksilver's like, don't pull that Fast and Furious family shit on me, like, you know.
But I do like how it ends basically with Orm and Quicksilver, you know, they have a little argument, but it's not really like a big deal. It's more like Orm just like, whatever, you're stupid. But listen, I know where Monstar is. And you're going to help me find him. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do. Deal? And that's how that issue ends. That's like I guess that's where the first arc of Silverhawks ends. If I recall, they said this was. So next time, we're following Orm to take on Monstar. So there you go.
That's going to be something. So, yeah. Sounds cool.
Part of me feels like Orm's gonna be a villain, but I'm not sure. So
gotcha. Well, you know, we can all hope that the character that everybody wants to see turn into a villain actually becomes a hero, Jake. So yeah, we're open that department. So
I guess so.
Okay. But anyway, I guess with that we should move on. We still got a couple other books to go through. So all right, we're moving on to the Superior Avengers. Number 5.
Oh, my eyes failed me. I thought I saw Avengers Academy. I'm not at the computer, right? But no, you're right.
We're talking about Superior Avengers. Now, picking up from what happened last issue, like the Annihilation Wave basically is coming to invade Wakanda. So now it's up to the Superior Avengers to come and save the day. And you know, Abomination, you know, being the Captain America Latveria that he is, he's coming in full on with the Latverian flags, pretty much saying, "I'm going to save this country for Latveria." Like, oh, I have a grunt.
Maybe I haven't. Maybe I don't remember, but I do have to ask: isn't Latveria kind of like in a bad state right now? Anyway.
We'll get to it when we get to it, Jake. This
I'm just saying, like, when does this take place?
I'll assume before what happened in the last issue, Jake. So,
okay.
All right, yeah, I hold a grudge against Abomination because I'm pretty sure it's this mother beeper that put the Latverian flag in the White House. So, yeah. You and me, we have issues, Abomination. So, and of course, being like the go-getter, like, you know, tough guy that he is, he immediately goes after Annihilus. Like, God dang, dude, like jumping right into the action. Like even Onslaught's like saying, "Oh, of course, Abomination is going to try taking out Annihilus by himself." So yeah, all right. So the team does what they can to fight off against them. I mean, of course, like the Wakandans don't really feel happy about like having to rely on Doctor Doom's version of the Avengers to come and help them. But wait, you see that Killmonger here? She actually has her own agenda going on during this conflict, right? As everybody's busy dealing with the Annihilation Wave, she comes into one of the vaults of Wakanda. Because remember, audience, Killmonger is from the future. Who would know the layout of Wakanda and that stuff, right? And she immediately kills the two Dormer Milage chicks that are guarding the vault, and she takes what she needs, which is like this fancy blade. Apparently, this was from the X of Swords event. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, she takes it. She has a idea of what to do with it. I mean, apparently this sword could open portals. Audience. So it's called the Skybreaker. It's a sacred blade from Wakanda, from the X Swords event, and she ends up using it to kill this future Annihilus. And yeah, Shuri pops up. She's like, "Wait, how did you get the Skybreaker sword when they were being guarded by the Dome Mirage?" And Killmonger's like, "Oh, yeah, the
Don't worry about it.
Annihilation." Yeah, the Annihilation Wave got there before I did and killed those two women. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and yeah, this is something I said before. Like the second we heard that there was going to be a female Killmonger audience, of course, naturally, we're going to have to see a conflict between her and Shuri at some point, And here it is. Despite saving the day, Shuri is a little bit hesitant about trusting her. Like, hey, this annihilation wave seems to be popping up at random points, coincidentally around the time your team started forming. And call me suspicious, but yeah, I'm not going to want to trust anybody who would willingly want to take the name of Killmonger. After all, So yeah, yeah. Can you argue against Shuri on that, audience? Anybody want to argue against her on that?
What was the
No?
argument again? I think I got.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anybody who takes the name Killmonger. After all,
That's prejudice.
well, look
Hey,
at
I mean,
you, Jake.
Killmonger chose that name, not
Yeah.
anyone else. That's technically his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is I mean, this is the female Killmonger from the future, so she actively took the name Killmonger.
Sure.
I was right.
Yeah.
Man.
So look, Jake, once again, you're challenging the logic of one of the smartest people in Marvel. Does that make you feel better, man?
That's okay
It's like
because Doom's word is law. Okay.
it's like you're in the WWE event and you want to go round after round with the smartest, toughest people in Marvel, man.
Yeah, but if I win, then it doesn't matter. Okay.
Gotcha. So yeah, anyway, so Wakanda is saved. Doctor Doom's Doombots come in to do what they can to help with the building repair, and yes, audience, they put the flags of Latveria in Wakanda. Like, god dang these beeps. So, you have Killmonger and Doctor Doom's son, they're talking about everything that's been going on. You see Killmonger trying to comfort Doom's son, and you see Abomination from the background. They're all looking at this, and he's saying, "She touches the flesh of Doom. How holy of her privilege." Okay, this dude's patriotism is weirding me out, audience. Like, wow. To be to just consider it an honor to be touching the heir of Doctor Doom, like he's like, oh, okay, I'm getting weirded out about this guy now, audience. So, alrighty. Anyway, as the conversation goes, she also wants to bring up something, right? Remember, audience, her name is Kill after all, so she uses the blade she took from Wakanda and stabs Doom's son in the chest. I'm like, God dang it, woman. Man, I feel like this guy and Richard Parker really need to have a drink together because they both got betrayed by the women they love, you know? So, damn. Like, remember, Killmonger and Doom's son, they had sex in the last issue after all. And even on the cover, yeah,
On my
even
Minecraft server?
the full on sex, like to the point where
Don't
Doom's
do
son is like,
that.
yeah, to the point where Doom's son's like telling her, can I get your actual name? Because it will be kind of weird to be making love with someone who has literally the name Kill in their name, you know? Am I gonna be screaming your name
Can I have a
while we
nickname
sleep?
at
Yeah,
least?
yeah. Yeah, you know, can I call you my Panther or something like that? You know? But yeah, Killmonger basically tells him, yeah, you pretty much served your purpose, this and that. So, and plus, you know, your death is going to be a distraction for Doom while, you know, we commence with our plans. So, yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Like, again, Doom's son pretty much gave his heart out to Killmonger. So he probably loved her in a deeper sense, but look what happened. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. You could have a beer, and Richard Parker could have a juice box, and you two could work things out. You know, about how you got backstabbed by the women you love. But you find out, like, you know, he kind of saw this coming, so he had Ghost intervening too to take the blade out and heal him. You know. Okay, so while this is going, you know, you have the Superior Avengers commencing with their plan because, like, their plan at the end of the day is to take down Doom as well. You know. Unfortunately, when they got all the equipment and devices they needed, that's when Abomination shows its true colors. Yeah, audience, it turns out in the future, you know, during the Annihilation invasion, one of those little buggers went inside the mouth of Abomination and took control of him. So all this time that patriotism he was shouting out was nonsense. He was just trying to go undercover to commence with his plan. And now that he finally destroyed the device the Superior Avengers had, he's going to be making his debut. Look at that, audience. Ugh. Yeah, never trust a guy that's that patriotic. You know, like.
Yeah,
All
Cryptid.
right. Hey, I'm not as
We're gonna
patriotic.
keep
Jake,
it to your own logic.
hey, wait. I'm not as patriotic as this guy, man. He is fangasming.
I'm still keeping you
He
to your logic.
he is fangasming of just touching like someone related to Doctor Doom. That is obsession right there, dude. Like, you know,
I'm just saying, Cryptid. I will keep
he
you
wants
to promise.
Jake, wait. He literally wants his face to actively get as fucked up as Doctor Doom's face. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Is it weird to think that I know a group of people who would do just that?
Yeah. It is weird. Like literally when he was fighting against Sam Wilson, right? Abomination telling Sam Wilson, "Okay, if you must strike me in the face, so I could bear the resemblance of my one true lord, Victor Von Doom." Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, oh boy. So yeah. That's pretty much the end of this issue. So one more issue left, audience. See where this goes. So, all right, that's it for my book. So we can move on to the next.
Oh, cool. I have to use my hotspot right now, but it's my turn, besties. Are you ready to see the Jugger fight?
Mm-hmm.
The Juggernaut.
Oh, is it this issue?
It's this issue where they start the fight.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been waiting? Are you excited?
Because I remember last issue you were talking about it, and then we just never got it.
Yeah, we were being edged, unfortunately, for the Juggernaut fight. But basically, I'm doing Avengers Academy issue 54, aka A Father's Love, and we do actually have a trigger warning. Actually, fun fact: this is I think the first issue of this book. Shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we start off in Whistler, Vancouver, wherever the fuck that is. All I know is that it's in Canada. That's all you need to know. It is very cold and blizzardy outside. And can you go to the first picture?
Mm-hmm.
Guess who we see, besties? Sidorak. Did you miss him?
Mm-hmm.
Did you miss my boy? Just kidding. I don't give a fuck. We also see Malfagor, who's being a bitch. So basically, these two have Squid Boy and Aaron chained up. Of course they do. And so Sidorak's and Malfagor are like, okay, guys, get dressed. Time to fight. Yay! Jake.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And they get suited up. I don't remember if I sent that picture, actually. Hold on. I don't remember what pictures I sent. Okay, so yeah. They're fighting. The girlies are fighting. Can you go to the next picture, please?
Mm-hmm.
The girlies are fighting. The gay bows are fighting. I feel like if you're a juggernaut, you have to be at least a little bit fruity, and these two are definitely fruity as hell, and I'm not gonna let anyone tell me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You guys understand?
I understand.
Yep.
One's canon. The other one technically isn't canon, but the subtext is so big that it's basically just text. Okay, cool. So they're fighting. The girls are fighting, and we look into a bit of Aaron's backstory. We get a flashback of him and his father at his mother's funeral, and basically, his father is blaming Aaron for his mother's death, which is like, unless he actually killed her, no, shut your whore mouth. And so, he ran away from home. And so you can obviously tell that Sidorak was definitely influencing his emotions there and everything like that. And he's like, kick his ass, Justin, you know? And so we cut to Squid Boy's, like a little bit of his backstory where he's getting bullied and everything like that. Also having to deal with major daddy issues. I feel like everyone in this book has some flavor of daddy issues. I'm not kidding you, Jake. I'm not kidding you. Everyone in this issue, besides Sidorak, has daddy issues.
Well, these are American. These are Americans, okay?
No, Justin is Canadian.
Oh, these are Canadians. So
only like one of them is Canadian. I don't even know about Kane at this point. And I think Squid Boy is also, I forgot his civilian name, that's on me. I think he's also Canadian. Regardless, not everyone here is American, dude. Anyways, so yeah. Daddy issues galore is what's happening while we're watching the Gaybos fight. The big hunks fight and everything. We even see Malfagor's backstory and everything. So, yeah, we learned that his dad died. Well, less daddy issues to deal with if your dad's dead. Am I right? Anyways, so yeah, this motherfucker is kind of like the Master in Ultimate X-Men, where he's hungry for power. But besides tweaking out on other people's blood, he's tweaking out on Sidorak's power, which is something. Am I right?
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, they fight. We even see Kane's backstory where he's having parental units too, and he gets the gem of Sidorak and everything like that. We even see Justin's backstory where he's watching a hockey game with his dad, and then his dad left because he's a coward. Kinda, yeah, bitch. Shit. You're dead too. Fuck you. Everything like that. And so Justin's like, no, stop the fight. You know? He's like, fuck you, Sidorak. I'm not playing your stupid little game, bitch. And so Malfagor is like, well, it's very simple, Justin Jin, the last late heir of Sidorak. You will die, bestie. And can you go to the last picture?
Mm-hmm.
Arnar! What's going to happen? I don't know. Do you want to place your bets in the comment section below what's going to happen tomorrow night? Well, technically tonight, because I get it at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the issue.
Oh, okay. That was short.
Yeah, I kind of breezed through it, but that was the start. That was like the start of the fight. What did you think so far?
It is an event fight. It is two juggernauts fighting.
Yeah, the gaybos are fighting.
Hmm.
Where's Tom? Where's Black Tom when you need him? I know how Kane could be stopped for a little bit, and we need his husband. They don't like labels. I can tell you that. We need Black Tom to calm him down, and then him and those two and their adopted child can go off and be happy. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go back to my book until it's my turn.
Gotcha. Alrighty then. I guess with that, we'll move on to the next book, audience. Jake, do you want to do the honors?
What am I looking
Do
at?
you love that? Do you love that
One.
page?
Listen,
Do you love that cover?
Reed Richards doxes Dr. Doom because he can't
Wow.
win a debate in One World Under Doom. Okay.
You know what this picture is, audience? You ever see that? You ever look at that moment when Kingpin wakes up and all he wants to do is for the first thing of the day is look up at that blank white wall? This is Jake waking up, and the first thing he wants to see is this image right here.
Sure.
So, wow, yeah. So, yeah, audience, as Jake mentioned, the premise of this. Let me bring up the headline. Actually, Fantastic Four leader challenges Emperor Doom to a contest.
Basically, well, we're just gonna skim through the gist of this, so we can just talk about the book itself.
Yeah.
Reed watched a lot of YouTube debates, and he said I could do that with Doom, and so he does that. And they have a debate, and despite the fact that they are both pretty logical in their argumentation, Doom is just more emotionally appealing to people because he understands that Reed is not an emotional man, so he could beat him there. And so when all hope seems lost and Reed looks like he's about to lose, he's like, fuck it, show him the video. And then everybody gets to see Doom is torturing Latverian women and children. And
I bring it up. There you go. And Dr. Doom's like, Dr. Doom's like saying, hey, wait. They're all full of tears, all right? There are children chained up and tortured.
And Doom has a justifiable crash out because, like, Reed, what the fuck, bro? Like, I like, fuck.
I'm like, hey. Funny enough, like, hey, does this make anybody feel comfortable? Like anybody who was like, hey, I wanted to go live in Latveria. Oh, look at your fate. This was your future.
All right, but listen, we're gonna go all that because
and also let's not forget, like, apparently, like this whole entire event, right? Latveria specifically has been closed off to the world. And anybody who actually sees any images of Latveria, it's just chillaxing, people walking around the streets and neighborhoods. It's a peaceful utopia until Black Widow, Invisible Woman, and Scarlet Witch manage to break in and find that that's all just a charade. Because apparently, the reason why Doctor Doom is so jacked up on magic as it is, right, audience? Like compared to when Doctor Strange is Sorcerer Supreme,
he has more sacrifices than Strange does.
Exactly, audience. Wow. Remember, all magic has a cost, and for Doctor Doom, it doesn't matter if he has to sacrifice all the people in his country to instill world order. So
I still hate that they added that. Like, I hate that was a thing for shows they added. Like that people have to die so I can use magic. That's stupid. I hate that.
Jake, this is something everybody has to think about whenever you go to a perfect future world. Like, okay, you go into the future and you see it's a peaceful utopia. Everything's great. There's no conflict. There's no war going around. Oh, come on now. Something has to be up.
I'm gonna stop.
Where's the meat generator power plant?
Because I'm gonna stop read that because you know what? Doom absolutely cooked Reed. And absolutely good. This is why I said Fantastic Four first steps. That might be a Reed Richards I can like. I had to okay out of all the Reed Richards because Doom brings up a point that, like, brother, how am I the only one to try world peace out of everybody here? How come Reed Richards, Iron Man makes an arc reactor, and he's still the only one who can use it? Okay, we don't have clean energy. Okay,
where's Doctor Doom, Jake? Like, couldn't he?
We'll get to Doom in a minute. Hank Pym says, "I have size-changing particles. We still have hungry people. What's going on with that?" Reed, and I love how Dude says, "Reed, and you're the most disappointing of all. You're the smartest man alive. But I still take 5 minutes to heat up my hot pocket. What the fuck's going on, dog? What's going on? You should have revolutionized microwaves. You should revolutionize this world. You make all this great technology and hoard it to yourself. Me?
Says the man who closes his country off to the world.
But you know what? You know what? He fixed the country. And that's more than any of these heroes do with their powers. And now that he's the Sorcerer Supreme, he fixed the world. Now, how he did now how he did it, we could argue how he did it is bad. But I absolutely agree with the point that like superheroes in comic books are actually, well, not all superheroes. The smart ones, they're all terrible. All the smart superheroes are terrible. The X-Men go on and on about how like humans hate us, but like some of y'all could just fix humanity's problems and they like you a lot more. Iceman, go to the ice caps and make us some more ice up there, dog. Like, what's going on? Things like that. It's like I hate this book in the sense that like I know they're never really gonna do this because Marvel's so obsessed with being the world outside your window, even though it realistically wouldn't be. But I did bring this up. So I said the reason I liked First Steps Reed was because Reed is hyper intelligent, and he did solve world peace. Krypton in that movie, he told the whole world, I gotta turn off the power for 8 minutes a day. We're gonna be okay with that. Everybody's like, yeah, Reed, whatever you say, Reed. I'm like, dog, what?
Okay. Given the fact that was a 60 settings, I mean, you think he will be able to convince the whole world if it was modern setting, Jake?
Well, I guess my point is more like super geniuses do so little that they don't actually feel intelligent. It feels like just like this stupid, like, oh, we can't. Then they'll come up with this stupid logic that doesn't really hold up. They'll be like, oh, well, if I make technology, then like the bad guys will get it. But I'm like, that's everything. Like, we wouldn't have anything if that's the case. We wouldn't have guns if we were afraid that the other people would use it. We wouldn't have the internet if we were afraid that the bad people would use it. Like, you know what I mean? We wouldn't have a lot.
Yeah. Now let me bring up a counterpoint, right? Wow. Okay. Doom versus Phanatics here. Yeah. So okay. To be fair, right? You're not exactly smart if you're going to be roasting like the heroes in this department because it's something writers feel like they're intelligent if they bring up these issues. I think it's more intelligent if you bring up a reason why those people can't take affirmative action because, like, you know, at the end of the day, heroes are first responders, right?
No, I agree.
When it comes to crises, end of the world, end of the universe conflicts, in some cases, the heroes step up their game and ensure the safety of the world as a whole. You know?
Yeah, no. Okay,
in terms of like, let's say, giving technology out, we did see at one point, you know, back when Peter Parker was like, you know, hey, owner of Parker Industries, he was doing that, right? He was using his company's resources to give technology out on a global scale to make people's lives better. Like, he gave renewable energy to this less fortunate country out in the world. But what happens when he gave them new technology? Rebel forces came in and attacked that village and stole their resources.
Okay, but see, that's a comic book thing because in real life, if we came up with renewable energy, we wouldn't worry about that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my issue. This is only comic book barriers so they can keep the status quo. And you talk about superheroes being first responders, and I agree with that. But I think that's really my issue. Like, not all of them, but some of them should be so much more. Like, just naturally. Like, I don't know. It's like the logic that you can't make good technology because you're afraid of the worst case scenario, when that means that like we shouldn't have technology at all. All technology has the ability to have bad people get their hands on it or people to get exploited. I mean, like, it's just normal. That's just the way it works. But you did bring up a point I do absolutely agree with, that writers will bring this up to sound smart, but like you're not gonna fix it. Like, I don't those are like dude is gonna bring up this point and then watch this event's gonna end and the status quo is gonna be the same for the rest of his
funny enough, that's actually one of the points Reed makes against Doom. Like, you know, based on the research rate, the last event we had, Blood Hunt, Doctor Doom could have intervened and could have helped stop it, but he intentionally let the conflict arise so that it could pave the way for him getting into power. Like, dang.
It's true, but I guess my only issue with this is like I've had this gripe. Well, when I was a kid, it wasn't as big as it is now, but I'm glad Dude brought this up because this is a serious gripe I have with superheroes. Well, not superheroes in general, just super geniuses. Yeah. Just like your world, the world should not look the same as it does in today. If you have people like Reed Richards alive and making shit. And I don't care how many excuses you'll have. There's never enough excuses to say like, I can't cure world hunger because in a third world country, some terrorists are going to attack a small village. Like what? Like, I'm sorry. Like some of this shit should just not matter. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's still, you know, it's a good issue for Ryan North, no less. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that they should. You kind of feel like this whole debate should have been in as a Fantastic Four tie-in rather than at this actual event. You know,
right?
It's weird to say, like, you know, hey, Ryan North is also writing the Fantastic Four comic as of right now, right, audience? And his tie into One World Under Doom doesn't even have any effects on the actual event itself. Like, they're literally banished through time at the point, you know. Different 4 different stages of time right now. So yeah. Oh, and let's talk about what happens at the end, because isn't that a glory shot, Jake?
Yes.
Dr. Doom literally rips Reed's head off, part of his head.
Yes.
Damn.
This is how Reed Richards to be.
Wow, this is how he gets into the debate, Jake. Wow. You immediately go to physical blows. When you go to that, you lose the debate, Jake.
Listen. Reed cheated, and so this is what he gets.
Oh man, and I assume Doctor Doom played it by the book when he became Sorcerer Supreme, right, Jake? Yeah. He was concerned about doing things fair and evenly, right, Jake? Yeah. So yeah, audience, there we have it. So Doom sacrificed his own people in this book. Anybody want to move Latveria now?
Happy about that.
Yeah. And any of y'all who made those video TikToks or whatever about like how glorious it would be to go live in Latveria? Yeah, how glorious do you feel right now?
You know, this reminds me of something else in our lives.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna get into it tonight because knowing you guys. But anyways, I'm gonna keep playing my game.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, that's it for One World Under Doom, audience. See what happens next time, and yeah. Oh, by the way, Doom turned off the cameras for the debate. So yeah,
that also sounds similar to something in our lives.
Gotcha. But all right then. I guess with that, any final thoughts, Jake, before we move on?
Nah, fuck the Marvel heroes, bro. Fuck them.
No, what we need to have is a superior version of Jake's story where he goes into the bodies of one of these superheroes, these big shot intelligent guys. He gets the exact intelligent level of, like, let's say Mr. Fantastic, and let's see how Jake does it. You know, how the world will look like.
In the span of a month, we will not be paying high taxes, okay?
Yeah.
I will fix this.
I'm gonna keep you to it, man. I'm gonna keep you to it.
Jake will be like the Fantastic Tylenol audience, you know. So
the superior Richards, bro.
We're gonna have to start calling you Mr. Fantastic if you actually do your shit well.
Sure.
Yeah. We need to come up with a superior costume for Jake. That's Reed Richards inspired audience, you know. Yeah. But all right then. I guess with that we can move on to the next book. So, or go ahead, Jake.
Yep.
I don't know if you have the picture for that. Okay.
Right there. It is time for My Vampire System. Which I was wrong. I'm actually on chapter 483. So
that's still a lot of chapters.
It's true. So you know, last time around My Vampire System, Quinn Quinn and his friends were on a rescue mission to go save Fex and Peter, because Fex is going to be executed for helping an illegal vampire, basically. So
God forbid.
God forbid. So they have to go. They have to go to the vampire world for the first time, and they have to save Fex before the execution date. This season started off kind of slow. Well, no, it started off interesting, and then it got slow, and then it picked the fuck back up by the end. Okay, I'll tell you that much. We first got introduced to a new concept. That's right. 483 chapters in, My Vampire System is introducing newer power systems to the universe. So, so now we're introducing the idea, and which you might like this one. We're introducing familiars to the power system. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Basically, Quinn and the others they appear in this lab. They believe is owned by Richard Eno, who is the creator of the vampire system. But they don't know much about him other than that. And so they wind up having to break the test a little bit to get out because they don't want to do all this shit. And they get chased by an army of ghouls and a bone claw. And they can't win because the bone claw is I think an alpha tier beast. And last time they fought an alpha tier beast, it took everything in the kitchen sink. It took 2 vampires, an Iron Man mech suit, a lucky shot, a debuff thing. It took literally everything. And they barely won. So they don't have the time for all that. So Quinn's like, listen, guys, you just go. I'm gonna handle this. And everyone's like, but Quinn, you can't fight that on your own. He's like, oh no, I'm not trying to. And then they're on like this little wooden bridge, like like the little creaky bridge, and he breaks it, and him and the Bone Claw and the Whites, and the ghouls all fall to their presumed deaths. But Quinn is alive, just barely. And the Bone Claw, he's like, you know what? That was type shit. And he decides to be Quinn's familiar for reasons Quinn doesn't quite understand. Meanwhile, Quinn's friends, they're wearing a vampire fragrance so people don't mistake them for vampires. What? Yeah, well, what? Yeah. So basically the idea is like if vampires have a unique sense of smell, unique sense of smell, and if they can tell if you're human or not. But because Logan, who's the smart guy on the team, because he knows that, he used Quinn's blood to make a fragrance that makes them smell like vampires, so the vampires can't tell that they're humans.
So you're smelling like someone's blood is what I'm hearing.
I don't know. You smell like a vampire. No, I don't fucking know. Okay, no. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so dumb. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm wrong. It wasn't a blood. It wasn't a spray. It was an inoculation. I think they have to inject themselves with it. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweat pores and all that stuff, I guess, audience. So yeah.
It lasts 5 hours as long as they aren't, as long as they inject themselves every 5 hours, they're good. Now I should let you know that they brought Sia on this mission, and I was with Quinn when they said this. I was like, fucking, why is Sia here? So Sia is actually a double agent working for Pure. At least that's how we found out in the 2 seasons ago. But she knew Quinn was a vampire, and she was holding this secret over his head. And Quinn had enough of it at some point, so he used his influence skill to lobotomize her and take her memories away.
Wow.
and so when the team's like, so the team felt bad for her. Like Layla made friends with her again, and she's like, Quinn, let's take her with us. And Quinn's like, why? It's like, well, because I feel bad. I can't just leave her here. She doesn't even remember anything. She doesn't even know her family. It's like, yeah, but like, why are we taking her to the alien vampire world? And what? So they're like, but they do anyway. And so they go to so Quinn's team goes to vampire school because they're trying to go find Fex, and the 2 vampires come in. They're like, hey, what are you guys doing? You gotta go to school. What? Yeah, it's school time. We gotta go. Come on. I'm like, oh, okay. I do like this idea and concept because when the story started, Quinn was the weakest person in this friend group. Right? Like he was the weak kid on campus. Everyone had to protect him. He was kind of dead weight. Now all the kids that used to look down on Quinn, now they're the weakest kids in the school. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. That's funny. Like they have like their first lesson, they're like, okay, class. So for today's lesson, we're gonna learn how to bite people, like suck blood correctly, and all the not and like the quiz team is like, oh, we're not vampires. We can't do that. So we
are people. So yeah.
Oh, we also get to see Silver again. Silver is actually their teacher. Silver is Fex's sister, and she's been trying to keep herself busy since she learned the news that her brother's gonna get fucking executed live in public. She's trying to cope with that. She's also hoping that because she did talk to Quinn. On some like anime protagonist shit, she was like, "Listen, Quinn, you are the child of prophecy according to Fex. You gotta save my brother if you can." But she so she's like thinking like maybe this Quinn guy's gonna show up. I don't know, but she's but we do get a little bit on her. Quinn meanwhile goes to he accidentally gets inducted into a separate school for a vampire elitist, like for the elite families, and they mistake him for one of the elite families because he seems strong and all this other shit. And we actually do get to meet new characters, a new character whose last name is Talon, and just like mine, the audience, Quinn's full name is Quinn Talon. So but they don't say, but Quinn doesn't make a connection, and there's seemingly no relationship between them. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's just a coincidence. I guess they just both have the same last name, whatever. So we do get this is when we get the full breakdown of how familiars work. Quinn makes a new friend. I wish Austin was here because I know he's gonna make a comment about this. But Quinn's new friend is Rakim. So he's a vampire with a black rabbit familiar, and and at first and he's the vampire version of Quinn. Of course, at least that's how Quinn sees him. He really likes this kid. And eventually Rakim likes Quinn and all that stuff. We actually get to see Quinn fight a vampire noble, or the weakest one. It's a really cool fight. Seeing Quinn pull out all the stops just to win, and barely. And then you find out that Quinn barely beat a vampire noble, right? Yeah. But his system keeps telling him, because his system, his AI and his vampire system is telling him, Quinn, I just want you to know, this is still a suicide mission. I didn't even want you to come here because everybody here, that was the weak guy. You barely beat the weakest one. Everybody else, 10 times stronger than him. Okay, and you're telling me we gotta go, and you want to go save Fex, but we gotta get through on an army of people who are stronger than this guy. You're not gonna win here. But Quinn does get an evolution, so Quinn does evolve into vampire noble, but he is at the low end. He's like the low end of the vampire nobles, basically. But now he has a new objective. His system is telling him, listen, you're vampire noble, you're on the path to being a vampire leader now. So now your new quest is to get to level 40, become a vampire leader. Also, you need to turn 10 different people into vampires to be a part of your family. And I was like, what the fuck? Where's gonna find 10 people? We only have 3. Anyway, 10 people, and then also claim your throne. And Quinn's like, what? And says, I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're actually supposed to be the 10th leader of the vampire, the head of the 10th house. It was my plan was so you were given this book by your parents. I'm not going to go into that right now because it's going to distract you from what you need to do. But your parents gave you this book. This is supposed to train you so you could be a vampire. You could get to where I was faster. Basically you have all my powers and you're supposed to get as strong as you possibly can so that you can claim my throne and not get fucked with by the other houses. And Quinn's like, oh, okay. I don't know how to feel about that right now, but I guess I'm going to go save Fex and we'll figure that out later. We do get a training arc again. Quinn breaks out Peter. We also find out that I also like that because he uses his shadow powers in a fight, the whole vampire world thinks that the Punishers have returned. That's right. Frank Castle is a minister. In vampire lore, there were people who use shadows for their powers, and these were known as the Punishers. And their thing was they enforced the law. Okay.
Right.
But they all died out, or so they thought. And Quinn has the shadow power, so they think he's a Punisher. Actually, Quinn isn't. Quinn just found a book that gave him that ability. So he's not actually a Punisher, but they don't know that. So, but I do like how we get to see the difference between the vampire world and the human world. While there is still a class system in the vampire world, I do like how like they do say like for the most part, like societal wise, vampires are nicer than the humans. The bullying in this world is not as extreme as the bullying in Quinn's world. Bullying here is like like Flash Thompson, Peter Parker type shit. It's not gonna be like we're gonna fucking kill you. So that's kind of cool to see. Borden actually gets a cool fight with one of the vampires where he wins, surprisingly. So it is because he takes vampire steroids, but I digress. We also get a new addition to the team roster, Adalki, who is Vorden's clone due to some shenanigans. They call him Borden. What is like a based off a joke that was told earlier in the season. And so yeah, there's a lot of good setup here. Everybody gets to level up and learn more about the vampire world and all this other shit. But then we get to my favorite part of the season, which was the actual mission to save Vex. This shit was fucking awesome. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Vex is gonna get executed. So in my head, I'm thinking we're just gonna go get Vex and we're gonna fight one vampire and we're gonna leave. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's like a snatch and grab type thing. And they do meet this guy named Edward who tells Quinn, listen, everybody at that execution stage is way stronger than you. And if you once you say Vex, you're not gonna fight one of them. All of them are gonna fight you. So your mission is to get Vex and get the fuck out of there. Don't stay behind. Don't try to fight. Get him and go. That was the mission. And so Quinn adheres to that plan. He's like, all right, listen, I hear you. So he goes in to get, they do the execution and, he does his little plan to try and get him. And he does manage to kill one vampire knight because the vampire knight doesn't expect Quinn to be so strong, basically. And he gets Vex. And then all the other vampires are like, oh, we got to stop this kid. So all the other vampire knights come in. And Quinn and his team, they're on the way out. But then they activate a blood dome. And if you touch the dome, you die. So the dome is keeping Quinn and his friends inside, which means they have to fight everybody here. Okay? Now, the worst part is the only reason they're living this long is because everybody they're fighting is holding back because they don't want to embarrass themselves by like having to put effort into the fight. Okay? This is where you kind of get some Game of Thrones type betrayals and everything. So it starts off with just like Quinn and his friends, and they're struggling every fight because these are humans versus vampires, and the vampires are just stronger. Quinn is holding his own. Logan has his mech suit. Borden is struggling, but he's doing something. Layla and Sia are on support duty. They're trying to stall as much as they can for people. And then all hope seems lost. But then Silver shows up and she's like, listen, now that I know Quinn has a plan, I'm gonna jump in. Like, she is the rule follower, but she's like, I have to save my brother. So she betrays the vampires to save her brother. Everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? And then she's gonna get killed. So her dad comes in, and her dad didn't give a fuck about the situation, but he's like, listen, you can't kill my son and my daughter. That's just too much. I'm gonna help him. And so yeah, he steps in. And then the other people on the side, they're like, listen, it's not that we don't want to help Quinn, because I actually am interested in this. There's the Punisher has returned. And I want to help the Punishers because I want to enforce the law. But at the same time, there's a time and place for it. So I'm just going to watch. Okay. And then this shit gets crazy so remember I told you about the inoculation they did so the vampires couldn't tell they were human?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, one of them gets cut. And the vampires knights they sniff a little bit. They're like, wait a minute. Are we being held back by humans? What the fuck? And then and the kids, so the vampire kids sniff it. And so the thing is, like, vampire kids haven't learned to like dull their lust for blood. basically. And so when they smell human blood, they all want to go attack them. So he's like, I need it. And so the vampire elders have to come in and help them. And then at some point Layla gets stabbed. And I like this moment because so the bone claw that Quinn has, this familiar, Quinn can't control it. The bone claw can only come out if Quinn feels hatred in his heart, basically. It has to be desire to kill or an evil sensation. So when he sees his friend get stabbed, he's like, oh my God, no. All y'all gotta die. And the bone claw goes like, you sure, bro? He's like, yeah, do it. And he's like, aye. So he bursts. So the bone claw comes out and he starts killing people. And then so the vampire elder's like, holy shit, where'd he get a bone claw from? All right, whatever. Send all the familiars after him now. So all their familiars go at the bone claw, but the familiars look at the bone claw. They look back at their owners. They look at the bone claw. They're like, listen, man, we don't want any smoke with you, bro. We're sorry. All right, listen. So, because in this world, the familiars have their own dimension where they all live in, and in that dimension, the Bone Claw is king. So when they see their king, it's like the Muto seeing Godzilla. You know what I mean? They're like we can't fight that guy. And then so the highest guy, Bryce, he's like, okay, whatever. If they're not gonna fight, I'm gonna fight. So he sends out his 3-headed dog familiar to go fight the bone claw. And the dog runs at the bone claw. He's like, and he looks up the bone claw. He's like, master, I'm sorry. And then he like bows his head. He just bows to the bone claw. Like, what the fuck? Oh, man, dude. And he's like, no, fight him. And the dog looks up. He's like, bro, I'm loyal to you, but I'm not fighting him. All right. No. And then Bryce's like, fine, I'll fight him myself. And so the bone claw and Bryce have this epic battle in the background. But then Quinn is fighting this one guy who was giving him shit earlier. I do like this moment because it shows how loyal Quinn is to his homies. Quinn is losing this fight, not because he can't win, but because he's so distracted by trying to keep everyone safe. So he sees some of his friends. He sees Layla about to get hurt. So he shoots a blood bullet at the person who's about to hurt her. But because he did that, he got hit in the stomach. And then he keeps getting whacked. But even as he's getting like lynched live on stage, he keeps using his powers to save his friends instead of defending himself. And all the other vampires watch this are like, damn, bro, that's what's up. that's kind of cool. Yeah. And so all hope looks lost. But then Arthur shows up. So we find out that Arthur met up with Leo and Aaron from the previous season. And Arthur was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty dope. He finds out that Quinn was the one who freed him in the first place. And so he trains Leo how to fight better as a vampire. And he trains, and then Leo trains Aaron how to fight better with a sword because she doesn't have her powers. And then at some point, Leo can feel Quinn is in pain because he's getting his ass whooped. And he's like, and then Arthur's like, oh, your friend, he has shadow powers, right? Well, here's the thing. Us Punishers, because I'm an actual, like, Quinn is a fake Punisher, but I'm a real Punisher, basically, type shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like the last Punisher. And so because he has the shadow power, I can connect my shadow to his no matter where he is in the fucking universe. So that's what he does. And so he teleports to Quinn and he protects him. And he's like, and everyone's like, yo, who are you? He's like, I'm Arthur. You don't remember me? Yo, I was the shit 1,000 years ago. What happened? Y'all forgot about me? And he said, and so they all go like, bro, who is this guy? And so Arthur's like, you know what? How about y'all find out? I see 14 of y'all left, 14 of the strongest one of you here, all come at me at once. Y'all fight me all at once. And they're like, and so Quinn's like, actually, no, scratch that, Arthur. I appreciate you. Listen, I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. Thank you, dog. But I need you to fight 13, not 14 of them. And Quinn, and she's like, why? He's like, because I need that guy to know, the guy who was beating my ass on the floor while I was saving my friends. I need him to know. I don't know if I can beat him, but I need him to know what I'm really about. And Arthur's like, I like you, kid. Go fight him. And so Quinn has the fight with him, and he barely loses. He barely loses that fight. And Arthur's like, that was type shit, kid. But let me show you something. Okay. So Arthur does this move called the Shadow Eater, which Quinn learned, but he never knew how to use it. And he puts the vampire in the shadow. And then when the move is done, the vampire just like, he's standing there for a minute. and he just kills himself. And everyone's like, yo, whoa, what was that? Everyone, like the whole fight stops, like, oh, what happened? And Arthur's like, oh, you don't know about the Shadow Eater? Okay, well, let me educate you. The Shadow Eater, so you all know how that we're all weak to the sunlight, and we go in the sun and we don't have a ring, we'll just burn up and die eventually or something like that. Everyone's like, yeah. Well, yeah. He's like, well, the Shadow Eater takes our ability to be immune to the moonlight too. So basically what I did was I cooked him alive in a shadow. I took away his immunity to the sun and to the night. And now he's just burning alive. Eternal. And so he just killed himself, basically. and then because he did that, everyone in the audience, all the fighters in the arena, they're like, dog, we quit. We're not fighting that. we're not doing that. That's crazy. So then the Vampire King shows up and he's like, oh, hey, Arthur, long time no see. And Arthur's like, hey, what's up, my king? Everyone's like, whoa, you know the king? Like, yeah, we go way back. I knew him before he was the king. He was my homie. And the king's like, yeah, it's crazy. Arthur, I see you beat up my subordinates, but only killed one of them. Type shit. I like you. You're fine. You're cool. But listen, the truth is, your friend Quinn here, he freed somebody we were going to execute. And I like you, Arthur, but not that much. The rules have to be that we have to kill Fex. And if you don't want your friend to die, your new friend Quinn to die, that's fine. But I have to kill Peter too. So Fex and Peter have to die. And Quinn has to make a decision in this moment because Quinn knows that Fex is in trouble because he saved an illegal, which was Peter. But Peter isn't illegal because Quinn actually is a vampire leader. No one knows that though. No one knows he's supposed to be the 10th leader. But if Quinn reveals that now, he's not strong. Like, notice he hasn't beaten a single one since he got here. He's not strong enough to fight off the threats that will happen if he reveals that he's a 10th leader. If he reveals himself and proves it, then he will have to not only stay here forever, he can never go back home, but he will be surrounded by people who want to kill him while he's trying to get stronger. So he has a choice to make. And Quinn says, well, listen, there's only one choice I could make. Your Highness, my name is Quinn Talon. I'm not a Punisher. Okay? Fex, he's my friend. I was protecting my brother. And the truth is, I am Iron Man. No, I am the 10th leader. So the season ends with him revealing he's the 10th leader to the entire vampire world. And it's on a cliffhanger. So there you go. My vampire system continues to impress me with how cool it is. It progressively the stakes progressively get raised more and more. The world gets fleshed out more and more. And I am liking the new powers we get every season. They never feel like they're too much. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. I'm on chapter 483, but you can start at chapter 1 for free on Pocket FM app. So there you go.
That was eventful audience, So yeah, we all need doses of vampires in our storytelling after all. So
yeah,
gotcha. But all right, I guess with that we should probably move on before we hit the 12 o'clock mark. So
we can go. It's Tuesday. We can go higher than that if we need to. So
okay. Okay, so what's on the list next? Hold on a sec. Okay. Witch's book.
Sorry. My turn?
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Bringing it up. There you go, Witch. Take the stage.
Okay, sorry. I was doing other stuff. Let's hold my phone wants to charge. Yay. Anyways, I'm talking about a new Mad Cave book called Look Into My Eyes. By the way, there's a website that goes with this book.
Okay.
And oh my god, it's so good. Anyways,
don't you like it when you get more for what you paid for, audience, when you buy a book like this and they lead you to something else like a website, So,
yeah, you can actually see certain things that happen in the book on the website. But anyway, so we start off at a club type thing where this one girl is looking at her phone and everything like that, and is going through it. Right? Can you go to the next pic?
Yep.
Because something happened to her, which caused her to be shamed, both in person and online. And so basically, she's gone. Wonder what happened with the weird red hands. I'm like trying to pay attention to my phone to see if it's actually charging. So let's hope it's actually charging because it's at 5%. Anyways, so we cut over to another day, and we're seeing this person making a whole bunch of zines. And if you don't know what a zine is, it's like a mini version of a magazine. Okay. So basically, oh shit. Okay, do you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, just checking because I got a network connection lost, even though I have service right now. And so so this girl over here, different girl from before, by the way, she's looking at an ad for this like social media app or whatever the fuck, which she crumpled up and throws it away. And we actually do get to see the full ad on the next page. And if you scan the QR code at the bottom, you can go to the website, or you could just type in the URL. Okay. So basically, we see this one person walking outside, just like listening to some music and everything like that, listening to the news. We see well, not the news, to a live stream. My apologies. We do see a poster for the missing for the person at the beginning. A missing poster, watch out, keep an eye out, and everything like that. We see some people on social media and everything. Some people smoking that good kush, if you catch my drift.
Of course, Phil.
And so this person is like, the person who's outside was like, come on, not again. Like, damn it, RJ. Like, are you gonna come down now? Like, we're gonna be late. And so the main girl, RJ, is scrambling to get all of her stuff together, get her makeup on and everything, and goes on out. And fun fact, these two characters are canonically Vietnamese, which is really cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I actually really like her room, by the way. It's a pretty cool room. Basically, she heads out, RJ heads outside and everything, and they're just like chit-chatting and all that other stuff, especially because there's a giant antenna behind them, okay? And so basically, we don't know what happened. So this other character, I forgot her name. It's my fault. Don't worry about it. Is like, okay. So RJ's like, when will you clean up all this Halloween junk like Mom told you to? And the other person's like, after what you've done, Mom doesn't even remember the decoration. That would leave them up until next October. And it's like, I don't know why you complain so much about Canon Corp. Don't you remember what it was like before these things were installed?
Yeah.
And so RJ's like, everything was so much better. And so her sister is like, oh, come on. There was like no phone signal everywhere on the island. And we do get a map of the island, by the way, if you were curious, on the website. And so she's like, we didn't even have smartphones, social media, or a decent connection to watch VOD platforms. Like, we were living like those annoying kids from Stranger Things, which someone who's only watched the first half of season 1, I agree. They're fucking annoying. Anyway, they have service now. But guess what? RJ doesn't like that because she says, and I quote, do you think an evil mega corporation like that is going to give something away for free? Keep in mind, RJ spent a whole bunch of time making zines to hand out to people just to try to find a missing person. Anyways, so RJ's like, you're giving away your data, privacy, and time, consuming all of the entertainment like they funnel into your mouth, etc., etc. RJ doesn't like this corporation, which is valid, honestly, and everything like that. By the way, her sister's name is Lori, if you didn't know. I was just trying to find the speech bubble with her name.
Gotcha. That's nice to know.
So they start to walk to school or whatever. We see like a shrine dedicated to Susie. That was the person who went missing. That was her name.
That can never be good, audience. The shrine.
Well, they don't know if she's dead or not. It was kind of like a memorial thing.
Oh, okay, memorial. God,
because the person on this page, that's Susie.
Okay.
So they don't know if she's alive or not.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so Lori scares RJ with like one of the fake skeletons and pretends to leave her and everything like that. But don't worry, they make it to school and
RJ notices that everyone's on their phone, and she's like, "This is a damn plague. All these normies are have their noses glued to their phones. They look like zombies." Everything like that, you know? And so basically, you know, she's chatting with her sister about it all, passes by some, like, a bitchy mean girl who pushes RJ, which is so rude, dropping all the zines that she made. And what is being a bitch? And she's like, "Why don't you get out of here and crawl back to the dump where you came from?" And by the way, her name's Nancy, which makes a lot of sense because that is really such a mean girl name and everything like that. And a whole bunch, like, her boyfriend, and then one of RJ's friends has to be, and her sister is like, has to like stop Nancy from being a bitch because she's a bitch. And they get into a fight, by the way. They get into a skirmish, and they all get into the principal's office, and Nancy is fucking crying and bitching online because of course she would.
Yep.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all. Anyways, so we cut after dealing with principal stuff. We learn that they all have to go to summer school because fuck these two. Fuck this bitch over here. Fuck this bitch Nancy. You could tell that her boyfriend is not that interested, by the way. He's like, I don't like this bitch. Anyway, so we come back to RJ in her room uploading an audio file, which is the podcast version of the Twisted Eye, which is the name of her zine, and everything like that, while she's talking to her friend Ellie about what happened. And so she's scrolling and she's looking on. She was kind of forced to sign up to the social media site in question, and she's seeing like memes about herself, about other things and everything. Keep in mind, Nancy made a meme, like one of those like alien History Channel memes about RJ, and she's like, "I'm not your fucking meme." That's the name of the issue, by the way, if you didn't know.
Okay. Oh, was she there? Uh-oh. We lost Wish, guys. Okay.
Okay, that was weird.
Wish is back. Say something.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Gotcha. All right, continue on.
Okay, so basically, RJ gets a message from an anonymous user, saying like, "Oh, I liked your podcast. I wish I was brave like you, but I can't. It's complicated," and everything like that. And so basically, those two meet up, and guess who it is? Guess who it is?
Who?
It's Nancy's boyfriend, Michael.
Yeah, of course.
And all that other stuff, and they're chit-chatting a little bit. You know how it be. And so guess what? Guess who pulls up? Another one of her friends. Yay! I forgot his name. Jesse, that's his name. I'm still remembering everyone's name. Okay, I'm not good at remembering names. You're gonna have to work with me.
Gotcha.
Anyways. So those two are just chit-chatting in like a nice little area with a bunch of like bluish white roses and everything. It's pretty cool looking. So, basically Jesse shows RJ a video, right? Like a surveillance thing. And basically we see Susie outside of a wardrobe closet, and then the next scene, no one's in front of the wardrobe closet, and then the next one, guess who it is? It's Michael. He's leaving, pulling his pants up.
Ooh.
So if you go to the next picture, you can see what happens. Yeah, that's the one where she's uploading the thing. Can you go to the next one?
Next picture, okay.
Yeah, that's the next page, by the way.
That is a profile pic right there, audience. You know,
I don't know if you want this at the profile pic. I know you put this on the cover.
Or an avatar or something like that, you know. So
yeah. So basically, if you guys can figure out what happened, if you could rub two brain cells together, you can probably know what happened to Susie pretty early on. But I'm not gonna say anything like that. So basically, we cut to RJ having like a narration, like a whole bunch of narration bubbles. So we see her on her phone, we see her hugging Jesse, we see her phone, you know, and all this other stuff. And so RJ's like, oh, since Susie's message, everything has changed. People are on edge, and so am I. Like, people are scared and everything like that. So basically, this is turned into what the fuck happened and who the fuck is involved with Susie's disappearance and everything like that. And can you go to the last picture?
You right there.
Yeah, so basically the last little bit is RJ saying Susie deserves to rest in peace wherever she is, and I'm not going to look the other way. So basically, she's most likely gonna figure out who the fuck killed Susie, how the fuck she died, and maybe this mega corporation is involved. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one punk girl against the world. But yeah, no, literally go also after you read it, go to their website where you can read a whole bunch of like text conversations and like posts and like a little mini comic basically explaining what happened, and also like the zine that RJ makes. It's very interesting. You should look into it.
Right.
But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next month with the next issue.
Yeah, something to look forward to for future audience, you know? So, all right then. I guess with that, well, in an effort to save time, I'll save my book for next week. So we can move on to the last book of the night, audience. Jake.
All right. Well, we did it. It's been a long road. Okay, but we finally finished this fucking book. I did. I used the Bionicle Ignition movie, stop motion movie online, so I did cheat a little bit. I won't. I'm not. I'm gonna try not to use it for the Tomari one, but I have my issue. I said it before. I think this book is just okay, and I don't want to really waste every week reviewing it if it's just okay. So I just watched the movie for the last couple chapters that I didn't get to read. That said, did I enjoy what I watched? It was okay. The Toa do get a lot more to do near the end. We do get to go see the trials. I think I'm just sick of the Paraka. I think I'm sick of the when we first started this, if I could make a playlist, I would. I guess you guys remember I was so excited for the Paraka. I was like, oh, these guys are fun. I like them. By the end of it, it's like, imagine being on a team where every 5 seconds someone's trying to kill you. That's the Paraka. Like, there's not a second, there's not a sentence that goes by where there's not a Paraka in the back of the room thinking, I can kill this guy right now. I can kill my own teammate right now. And
who would want consistency in a team, Jake? Come on, you know.
I just there's a scene. This should make me mad. There's a scene where they have to go through these trials to get to the Mask of Light. The Paraka have a head start on the Toegneka, okay? And they go to one, and here's the test. I'm gonna tell you the test verbatim. You ask me if you have any questions, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
The test is just pull a lever, and we'll all be okay.
Okay.
That's the test. Okay. Now you have to pull a lever all at the same time, and everyone's like, just pull it at the same damn time. Okay. Oh yes. Okay. And so it was like, okay, pull at the same time, everyone's okay. If one person goes first, everyone else dies, and that one person is okay. And like fucking clockwork, one of them says, yoink, and like pushes it before everybody else. So all the other Paraka fall, but he's the last one standing. He's like, yes, I did it. Haha. And then the test is like, oh, the test was to see if you guys could work together. And you failed. So now you all fail.
God.
so all of them fall.
This is straight up Chuny exam sort of stuff, man.
Yeah. So and I was like, come on. And even though the Paraka like, bruh, can we go 5 seconds? So like I said, I think this team just gets annoying when you know all of their antics are gonna fall apart because they'll just fight each other. I mean, the Toegneka, I mean, I guess they fought him earlier, but the Toegneka never really get a clear victory on them. I mean, they were on the winning side earlier, in their first real encounter, so I guess you could say that, but they don't even beat the Paraka in the final battle. The final battle is between the Toegneka and the Paraka. It's the Paraka gets to the Mask of Life first, and there's this character called Vizon, who's part of Vizok. They were separated, like so. Vizok is one of the Paraka, and so like Vizon has the mask, and he doesn't just have it; it's fused to the back of his fucking skull. Okay, so you want that mask, you got to kill him for it. But the problem with that is he's immortal; he can't die. So the Baraka fight him, and they get horribly beaten, and they get beat by Vizon, and that's the last fight scene the Baraka ever have. They never get to fight the Toei Daika. That's just it. The Toei come in after them. They go through their own trials. You get to a Toei Lee Khan cameo, which is cool, but it's not even real Toei Lee Khan. It's just like a fake. And they go fight, and they go into the room, and I do like how they do burst into the room. They're like, "All right, Baraka, put your hands." They're okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then Vizon's like, "Oh, hey, Toa, already beat the Baraka, and you can get out of here. Get your ass out of here." They're like, "No, we need that mask, bro. The universe needs us." And he's like, "You don't need the mask, okay? I need the mask. The mask is with me. I have the mask. It's okay." Vizon's crazy, in case you couldn't tell. So he rides his giant spider and he fights the Toei Daika, and they actually do kill him several times, but he's immortal, so they can't, because the Mask of Life keeps bringing him back to life. So,
wow.
And so he can't die, and so they're like, okay, I played some long holy games of my life, but this is getting too much. We can't do this all day. And but luckily, not Brutaka, Axon gave them the sphere they needed to beat this guy. So they shoot a sphere at him, and he dies. And I was like, that's a bit anticlimactic, but whatever. Maybe in the book it was cooler. I don't know. But yeah, so they beat Vizon, and they take the mask. Well, Mataro tries to grab the Mask of Life. Interestingly enough, he says, "Hey guys, I think the mask is talking to me." And everyone else can't hear it. It should be noted that Mataro's mask power is he has the Mask of Death. So that should be noted.
Okay.
Mataro tries to grab the mask, and he does, and the mask goes into his hands. And the Paraka wake up, they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? Oh, the Toa, what? Oh, you'll have the mask? Oh, shit." So they're like, okay, so give it to us. And they're like, "No." Okay, I guess we're fighting. But before they can fight, the Mask of Life flies away. And the Toa are like, "Oh, shit." After the mask. And so they've chased the mask down, and the Paraka are like, and then I think one of them was like, "Let's go after the mask." And then one of the rest of the Paraka are like, "Whoa, stop. Listen. We did all of this. We all nearly died. We barely got anything. I don't want to do this anymore." This is stupid. And we're going back to my stronghold. Vizon's like, "We're going back to my stronghold, and we're gonna go set the record straight." And everybody's like, "Well," and the rest are like, "Well, we still want the mask." And they're like, No. Trust me. I think this is a part of my secret boss's plan." And they're like, "Who's your secret boss?" He's like, "Oh, just a little guy by the name of the Oh shit. Ooh. So the Makutas
are their arch rivals by any chance named Matata?
No.
Okay, just checking.
His rival is Matanui. All right, keep up, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, so we find out the Makuta was involved in this. Now I know what the Makuta's real plan is. I understand why this whole thing had to happen to some extent. I feel like the Makuta could have gotten the mask himself and saved himself some time. But you know what? Who am I to doubt the greatest strategist in all of Bionicle history? Whatever. The Toa keep chasing the Mask of Life. Oh, I forgot to mention the Toa Nuva. They're okay. The Matoran of Voyanui, they found the Toa Nuva. They were under the Paraka spell, so they were mind controlled. But the Matoran saved them, and the Toa Nuva were like, "Oh, holy shit, we missed the whole book. That's crazy."
Wow. Oh, dude.
Yeah. So they go up to so the Toa Daika follow the mask, and the mask goes in the ocean. And so luckily they have a tow of water. Like, Golly, go get it. And Golly dives in the water. And she's like, and then she comes back up. And then she comes back up. She's like, oh, guys, the mask is like deep in the water. I can't we're like, it's gone. And something pulled me up and saved my life. I don't know what. And they're like, okay, so like, what do we do? Because we have to get the mask. Like, the universe is dying. If we don't have the mask, Matsunui dies, and then we all die. And then a Matoran from the sea comes up to the surface. He's like, fuck, oh my god, please, Toa, oh my god.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's wrong? He's like, listen, there's an island in the water. What? There's an island in the water. The fuck are you talking about?
What?
Yeah, there's an island. He's like, listen, everybody shut up. I'm a Matoran. I lived under the sea. There's an island down there. There's a village down there.
And darling, it's better.
Listen, we need you to go down there and help us, please, God. And they're like, and the Toa are like, okay. Okay, so that's right. The next book, we're going under the sea.
Under
the sea.
Under the sea.
The Toa Nuva do show up, and they meet the Toa Ignika, and they're like, "Oh, you're those little kids we used to save all the time back in our adventures." I do like that they do learn about the Toa Ignika out of context, and they're like, "Wait, there's new Toa, but we were the new ones."
Oh.
We were the younger ones. We were the hip Toa. I thought we were the last ones.
You don't think the Toa before you said the same exact thing?
Yeah. So, but they do meet up with the Toa Ignika. They're like, "Oh, it's you guys. We used to save you guys every day. Yo, how you doing? Now, congratulations on beating the Paraka." Like, yeah, but we couldn't really save the Mask of Life and all that. It's under the sea, and we got to go get it. But actually, well, you're the Toa. Why don't you guys go get it? And Toa were like, "Oh, we can't go." And they're like, "What?" It's like, "Oh, well, it's just that, we feel like you guys are more than capable, and we got to go back to Metro Nui." And John was like, "But you're the Toa Nuva." Like, just don't worry. And like, no, don't worry about it, John. You're cool. Just go get the Mask of Life. We believe in you. All that other shit, and then leave. And then one of the Matoran comes up. And he's like, "So you were just fucking lying to them, right?" And they were like,
"Ooh."
And they're like, "Well, not about everything. We do believe in them, and we have faith in their abilities and all that. And we are going to Metro Nui, but we got a lot of stops to make first. We just got told that we have a whole mission to complete before we can go on the final mission to save the universe, and we got to do that shit. So the Toa Ignika have to finish their mission so we can do ours, basically." Mm-hmm. And that's how the book ends. Next time, we'll be going to the underwater city, the underwater village of Marhi Nui, and we will meet one of the scariest Bionicle villains teams of all time. So, I mean, this was a disappointing book to read in general. Like I said, I think Bionicle shines with the main cast. I think the Toa are always the fun parts of reading these books. Even in the Toa Mata adventures, they weren't as complicated as the Metro Nui adventures, granted. But the Toa Mata themselves, or the Toa Nuva, whatever you want to say, they were fun to read about. Like, I liked watching the Toa interact. The Toa Metru, so much character, so much personality, love them to death. I couldn't tell you 5 things about the Toa Ignika. You know what I mean? I can tell you, Jala's the leader, and everyone else kind of has their Saturday morning cartoon one-liners. And that's it. And I think it's a shame because I can tell you so much more about the Paraka, but they're not the main characters. But they go around like they are. So it is a shame, but it is a book of the Bionicle universe. I think it's the first one. This is the first Bionicle book I just legit didn't enjoy. I think it's better written than any of the Toa Mata books, to be fair. The Toa Nuva books. But this is the first time I was like, I could skip this one. I would not come back to this one.
Yeah.
So yeah. But we'll be
Lesson
back.
of the day. Lesson of the day, Jake.
Lesson of the day?
Yeah.
The lesson of the day is never trust a Paraka. They're just like they're the worst. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
They live up
So.
to there's a reason that their team name is a Bionicle slur. Okay.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Crosswire Geeks. Next week, I think I'll have to do do I have to do a recap? I might do one recap to give myself a week's break, and then we'll jump into the Mahi Nui stuff. Hopefully, it lives up to that because this was when they had the best 2 trailers for any Bionicle product ever. They never topped these 2 trailers after this. So hopefully, it lives up to the hype. But
a lot riding on this.
right.
But yeah, I guess with that, we finished all the books, audience.
And it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, y'all.
Yay. See you next time.
Bye.